Welcome everybody to our latest session of Dragon of Icespire Peak. We will do our usual setup here. We're going to do a quick recap of what occurred last week and then jump into the session itself. So last week the group found themselves, we started the session with the group in the middle of a battle at Mountain's Toe Gold Mine. The group had been engaged in some combat with some what they determined to be were-rats and their minions, some rats and so on. With the group fighting this battle, they were pushing further west from the secondary entrance on the east side that they had originally entered from, and one of the were-rats had thrown a alchemical concoction of some kind which created a big cloud of fog. The group then started pushing through this as best they could to try to get better visibility, to see what was up there, to try to engage the combat further. Bryn, I believe, was the first one through and got to the other side, fighting, taking the fight even further to these were-rats. And during this time, Donjon, who was discovered there, this is the same individual that part of the group had left here previously when they had entered and been overwhelmed by the enemy. Donjon actually engaged in attacking Bryn even after some of the were-rats said that they were going to kill Donjon if the group didn't retreat. When this occurred, the group was obviously a bit confused, particularly those who had known Donjon, so both Bryn and Finn hadn't been familiar with him, so this maybe didn't come as huge of a surprise to them, thinking him perhaps just another enemy. But this battle continued on until the group was able to defeat most of the were-rats, or all of the were-rats, and Donjon was not, I don't think he even took any damage during this battle, as he sort of stepped backwards due to the fact that he realized once he saw some of the other individuals that he had originally come here to Mountain's Toe Gold Mine that this group was perhaps friendly. After the were-rats were slain and the group engaged Donjon in conversation, he went on to explain that the were-rats essentially had cursed him and had likely cursed some of the rest of you. That initiation bite where upon being able to leave, they took a bite of each one of you before letting you leave, seemingly had something to do with this. And he explained that, if you could find somebody that could cleanse you of this curse, that would be beneficial. That's what his preference would be. But if you couldn't find anybody, then it's likely you would have to live outside of polite society, mainly because once people would discover this curse, from what he had explained, would turn anybody that had been bit at the next full moon into a were-rat. This curse is considered by most of regular society to be something to be avoided, and were-rats are considered much like vermin, in fact. So he explained that if there was no cure coming from this curse, that the group would probably want to find some way of living outside of typical society, perhaps even in this mine. The group had a couple of discussions on that, ultimately deciding to take Donjon with them, and the party set Eomir to watch him closely as the group continued searching around the mine. The group was able to find a few odds and ends, mine picks, shovels, those types of things, but searching around the rest of the place didn't find too much of interest until they made their way to the far northwest section of the mine, in which case, again, I believe it was Bryn who was out front, noticed what appeared to be a cloak on the ground. Upon getting closer, however, it was determined that this was actually a swarm of rats that were covering some bones. And when the group was actually even closer, the bones seemed to stand up, and these rats seemingly formed some type of a skeletal structure that, combined with the bones, was in the form of a humanoid of some kind, or at least a bipedal shape. And it engaged in conversation with you all, and it said a sentence that nobody seemed to really understand, or was it a riddle? What was it exactly? No one really seemed to pick up on this. At which point in time, the creature decided to attack the group, and the group then fought the creature. The creature was able to only get a little bit of hits in. I'm not even sure if he hurt too many people, as the group was able to overwhelm him with just sheer numbers and defeat him, at which point in time the skull, the portion of this, just sort of fell back into the ground, and the rats that made up his body seemingly fell dead as well. The group then continued moving along in this area and pushing further to the south, started checking around a loop, at which point in time it was recognized that Donjon was no longer with the group. Some of the members asked Eomir, as he had been tasked to watch him, and it seemed as though Donjon was following along as best he could, but he was certainly staying at the edges, and he wasn't following along and doing everything precisely as the group perhaps would wish him to, seemingly like maybe lollygagging a bit. The group then scanned around quickly once they realized he was missing, seeing if they could find him anywhere here, and not finding him, made their way out to the east, concerned that maybe this would be a ambush or surprise attack perhaps on those who had been left behind. So back east, those that had been left behind were Kurtu and Misa and the dwarf, who was nearly starved and dehydrated, as they had been relaxing there, gathering their wits and creating a plan for what to do next. When the group returned and began speaking to one another, it was only a few minutes later that the sound of walking getting closer from the west to the east was heard, and eventually the group discovered it was Don John returning, and he had explained that once he saw the exit, he decided to step out just to get a breath of fresh air, as he had been stuck inside for the last few days and was real anxious to get outside once again. Some of the group didn't necessarily trust him or believe him perhaps, and still asked him some more pointed questions. It was discovered in conversation with the group that Gorlami possessed the ability to cleanse the curse, and Don John suggested that that be done for anybody in the party who had been corrupted or cursed by these were-rats. Gorlami refused to cure Don John himself, saying he wasn't going to assist Don John based on his actions, but he was going to try to aid the rest of the team as best he could. With this discussion finalized, Don John and the group basically agreed that neither side trusted one another. It probably would be better not to go with one another to try to take, Don John with the group back to Phandalin, for example. So he said he would search out his own cure, mentioning that obviously he is associated with the consortium out of Neverwinter, so likely that is where he would be looking to get cured from. So the group then decided to leave ahead of Don John, making their way back to Phandalin. The group passed by some areas looking for a place to just take a quick short rest to try to recover from some of their wounds. Eventually, in looking, they were able to discover a small sort of rock outcropping, and were kind of looking at it and saying, this is not a great place to try to rest, but we'll just pass by here as we continue looking for another location. However, as they passed by that location, the sound of scratching talons or claws upon the rock was heard, and the group found themselves in another high intensity situation, as the group was able to determine that there were some tigers and tiger cubs behind this rock outcropping. The tigers themselves, seeming like a mated pair, were for the most part trying to protect the tiger cubs, though the cubs themselves seemed to be a little bit curious, with one even bouncing off the side of the rock outcropping to take a look at the group. The group thought better than to try to get too close or to do anything that would put themselves in danger, so they kept their distance, and it seemed as though the tigers were content to allow them to leave and not endanger their cubs. With this completed, the group then did find a place where they could hole up for a short period of time in a little bit of a tree copse, and was able to recover from some of their wounds. I believe it was even at this time finally that Gorlami got over his exhaustion that had been lingering for quite some time. The group then pushed on, getting closer back to Phandalin, and as they found themselves near the edge of Phandalin and the crop fields there, and pushing closer towards the town itself, they suddenly saw a massive shadow overhead, similar to like they had seen before. So I'll pause there. That's the recap, folks. Does anybody have anything to add that I missed?
Goggles of night. Boom.
Yeah, yep. If you want to give a little bit more detail there.
So, Finn was looking around, searching, and found these goggles, and then Josephine wanted Finn to put them on. Finn's like, no, you put them on. I don't want to put them on. So Josephine put them on, and Josephine says, oh my God, I can see in the dark.
Adam,
Yes.
next time, can you ask him for an abbreviated version of what he meant by that, please? Thank you.
So Finn, go ahead and take inspiration. Yeah, so the group, in searching through the mine, was able to find a location secreted away that contained some gold chunks of gold ore, as well as a pair of goggles that allowed folks to see in the night. Being that most of the team already benefits from some type of dark vision from their race, Josephine decided she would take those, and putting them on was able to determine exactly what they were, as she was able to see better in the dark. Yes, good addition to our recap. Anybody else? All right, hearing nothing else, we will go ahead and award inspiration to Gorlami for another entry in Gorlami's Guide. I didn't forget this time, guys. So good job there, Gorlami, for that addition. And yes, folks, we will pick up to where we left off last week, with the group getting really close to this location of Phandalin when they notice this shadow.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
All right, group. So what I'm going to ask you to do here is put yourself in what you would consider to be your typical marching order. For ease of play, we are going to assume that even though Kurtu is actually hanging back a bit with Misa and with the dwarf, he and Misa have rejoined the group here briefly to let them know. Misa and Kurtu both explaining that the dwarf is not looking too good and maybe suggesting, hey, can we pick up the pace a little bit? And it's as the group comes together to have this conversation when the shadow is spotted overhead.
We're going south, right?
Correct.
Okay, yep. Aomir's the navigator, so I'm going first.
I'd probably be back with Finn. We'll probably be chatting or talking. He's got those chunks of gold ore, so we're talking about things we can do with them.
Okay, and as the group is now set, I will go ahead and lock tokens here. Put on some what we'll call action music. Okay, so as the shadow is spotted, Josephine, you are the quickest to react here. What would you like to do? So you can see the shadow again. You just notice it kind of hit the ground, cover you guys for a moment, and it's in that instant when your turn starts.
Is the shadow, like, discernible? Does it look like big leathery wings, big scaly dragon shadow, or can we tell what it is?
Quick look, it does resemble the form of a dragon, yes.
Wonderful. Can I look up to see if it's, like, heading right for us, or?
On a quick glance upward, based on just your passive perception, you can see a large form in the air. Hard to tell exactly how far away from you it is, but it is coming from the north and heading in your direction.
Wonderful. How tall are these horn thingies?
Yes, the crops here range in height anywhere from, say, 4 feet all the way up to 8 feet, depending on the stalks.
All right. If I can find a patch of tallish stalks within 40 feet of me off the trail, I'm going to dive into one of those ones. If you just want to point me where the tallest patches nearby are.
So what I will say is start making your way through where you would just start rushing, because obviously you wouldn't have time to just eye and look for the tallest, right? You would likely just start rushing in some direction. So whichever direction you get close to, then I will tell you where the closest or tallest ones are in that general vicinity.
All right, I will start heading southeast, so past Bryn. I'll just yell at the party, incoming, and then I will... Can I move my token? There it goes. Oh my god, my mouse is lagging super hard. 5, 10. It's not difficult terrain or anything, is it?
Not here, no.
Okay. 15.
All right, so as you're getting
20.
closer this way, Josephine, you're going to notice that the tallest, thickest stuff is here, which would be difficult terrain, but would seemingly give you good cover as well.
I'm diving into the cover, and I will also take the hide action when I'm in here. And then it might be hard to see exactly what's going on, but I do want to try to keep an eye out, like see where this attacker, if it comes for us, is going to land. I think I might be able to see like the skyline at least, maybe. Is that reasonable?
So everything happening within 6 seconds, I would say you don't have an idea of where it's going to land or even if it's going to land. You just see it to
but
your
I want to,
north.
yeah. But what I want to know is I want to be in a place where I can, if it were to do that, like on its turn, I could see the general direction of where it's going.
So right now it's at the north and it's heading south. So whatever you make of that information.
Okay. And then, so I'll take the hide action. You want a blind check?
Your bonus action hiding, or is this your action?
I don't believe I can bonus action
monk,
hide.
right. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead and throw a blind check. Okay.
So it's way too far away for me to throw anything at it, so I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna chill and be like, scatter, guys! We're gonna
Okay.
go ahead and enter in there.
Bryn, you are the next quickest to react.
All right, I'm gonna draw my longsword and kind of crouch down, maybe just one over here, halfway into the bushes, and yeah, if the dragon attacks me or any of my friends, then I'd like to attack it.
So if it gets within your melee reach, you're going to attack it. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so you push into the crops there a little bit, and then we move to Mize's turn. Yeah, she's also not liking being sort of exposed here, so I think having heard Josephine say scatter, she's going to head for the crops on the other side. So she'll kind of push over to here and try to do similarly, seemingly like she's trying to hide as we move to Aomir.
Yep. So I don't see anything in the air. All I see is the shadow.
If you look backwards quickly, based on your passive perception, you can see the dragon flying from the north to the south, seemingly heading for you.
Well, that's fun. Dragon confirmed. All right. I'm gonna move. Me and Brando, we're moving Bando. We're moving.
Even you did it now.
Yeah, even I did it. We're moving right there. Not gonna hide. But how far away is the dragon?
On a quick look, it's hard to say. All this is happening so quick. You would guesstimate somewhere in like the 100 to 200 feet range.
Oh, that's fun. Okay. I'm gonna not hide, but I'm gonna like kind of crouch down and ready in action if the dragon does make an attack on either my team or Phandalin. I'm gonna shoot it.
So with Phandalin being a ways away, you're seeing sort of the out farm buildings here. I'm going to say that if it attacks one of your teammates, we'll call that your ready to action.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's my turn.
Okay, Finnegan.
All right, I'm gonna try something different. I'm just gonna hit the deck right away. Boom. What? Shh. And I'm gonna try to. Can I move half speed and go, 5, 10, 15 to there and try to be sneaky and not make the crops move?
So you're dropping prone, you're using your action to stealth, and then you're moving at half speed to get into the crops. Yeah, you can do that. Go ahead and throw me a blind check, please. Okay. And Gorlami.
Yeah, sounds like a reasonable idea from everybody. So Gorlami's not wanting to kind of pile up with everybody. He's going to go just straight west, and he's going to get into the thickest part of this little clove of corn stalks he can find, and he's going to crouch down and try to hide as well.
Okay, line check. Okay, before Kurtu's turn, the dragon roars in the air, and this sound echoes throughout towards you, covering right over the crops, and seemingly even the force of this roar seemingly pushing the crops almost like a strong wind. As the dragon flies closer and closer, it gets still high up in the air, probably 60 feet or so in the air. It is now visible, however, on the map, as you guys can spot it at the edge of the map there. As it gets to about here, Kurtu, you probably have the best line of sight of this, as you're going to see it breathe this frost, but surprisingly, it doesn't come out as like a cone. It seems to come out as a huge wash that just covers this entire area. Think of it as almost like a frost dusting that hits this path and just covers the entire area, leaving it slick. As this brushes past you, Kurtu, you don't suffer any damage. It is obviously very cold, but you do notice all these frozen structures suddenly as it's hit lumps of rock or corn or chunks of dirt, whatever it is. You notice a ton of these different clumps of ice suddenly formulating, perhaps is a better word there, in the path as we move to Kurtu's turn.
Hey, would that trigger my ready to action?
I would say no, as he did not attack any of your companions.
Okay.
Boy, I feel like I've been in a daze. I feel like I haven't been myself over the last 24 hours. So, when you're facing a dragon, I think you need a lot of luck. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast, Bless. And I'm going to cast it on me because, well, on Kurtu, so that has to happen. I'm going to cast it on the two ladies being the closest to me because they may protect me. Who knows? So Granny gets one, and Bryn gets a dragon blessing as well.
All right, bless on Misa, bless on Kurtu, and the last one was on Bryn, right?
Myself, Bryn, and Misa. Yes, that's what I do.
Excellent. Yeah, and I don't know if we discussed this or not, guys, but I have a toggle spell action macro now. So when you click on your token, you'll see toggle spell. The list is not expansive right now. We'll add more as more spells become more common, but bless is in there as we use that one quite a bit. So if you just click on your token, choose toggle spell, you'll see an option for bless. Okay, Kurtu, so you've blessed your companions here. Anything else on your turn?
I'm gonna wave to the dragon, and as I'm running, I'm gonna say, Dragon, it's me, it's Kurtu! Be nice to me, I love dragons! And I'm gonna run. As best I can.
And I'm just gonna go there.
And I say, not towards me.
I had to run towards somebody!
Alright, and that will end my turn.
All right, at the top of the round, before Josephine's turn, you're going to notice this icy slick here that the dragon has unleashed on the ground. It's sort of shining or glistening even in the sunlight here, seemingly radiating this sunlight off of the snow and the little chunks of ice and that type of thing. Where you see these larger clumps, you actually notice that it seems like some of them are beginning to move. And Josephine, it is your turn.
Anything nearby? Like,
to your west, yes, in that icy path, you can see 3 distinguishable ice clumps.
and they're moving like it's something coming out of the ice, ready to...
Think of it almost as like an egg cocoon, perhaps, and like how something in there might just move a little bit, and you can see it kind of move like a jello, like the outskirts of it move just a little bit. Something like that in the ice.
It's not great. Yeah, I think I gotta go deal with that. The dragon is still 60 feet in the air.
Correct.
Yeah, not getting there. So then, if there is a ice cocoon here-ish, if you just want to ping me where it's at, I'm gonna
The
head that way.
closest one to you is right here.
Okay, I will go there. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Is this all difficult terrain down here? Or is it thinning out near the path?
So in the middle of that, it would be difficult terrain, but where you're standing right now, you're in like an opener area, so no difficult terrain right there.
Okay, so 15, 20, and then... Yeah, I'm gonna try to smash the cocoon thing with my staff. Is it big enough that I can hit it, or is it still, like, tiny?
Oh no, you can definitely hit it.
I will attempt to hit it. Do you want an attack roll?
Yes, please. You smash into this thing. Go ahead and post damage. You notice that your bludgeoning damage is particularly effective on this frozen piece of chunk, whatever this is, and as you hit it, you hear like a crashing of 1,000 icicles breaking apart and hitting the ground.
Okay, so it looks inert, like it looks like I broke it.
Whatever this thing was, you've just destroyed it.
Okay, is there another one within 15 feet of me?
There is. There's one just to right here.
If I step... Well, I saw Kurtu run out of this without issue. So, I'm going to gingerly step to the left here. And I will attempt to smash the second one with my second attack. Uh-oh. Where did my character sheet go? There it goes. Sorry.
No worries. Yes, that will easily connect as well. Once again, smashing into it very sadly, and it just shatters before you.
Alright. Anything else nearby?
Yes, there is another one of these clumps, both here and here. Those are the two closest to you.
I've used 25 feet of movement so far.
I'll trust
That
you.
sounds right. That sounds right. So I will do... Is the ice difficult terrain as I'm moving across it?
It is not.
Okay, so I will go 5 more feet. Attempt to smash section number 3. Oh, fuck. One day I will get better at this.
Now remind me, how are you doing 3 quarterstaff attacks?
2 basic attacks and then bonus action martial art. Oh, it's not quarterstaff. I'm sorry. That would be an unarmed strike. So it's the same attack roll, but it would be a d6 instead of a.
Okay, well, since you want to
I rolled a
reroll it,
1 anyhow.
Yeah, if you want to just go with that, I'll certainly take it. All right, so this is more like a punch or a kick. So as you flash a foot out, smash into it, you hit it, and you can hear it thud loudly, but it does not shatter.
Uh-oh. Then I will use my last 10 feet of movement to go back into the foliage here.
Sure, you step over into the crop fields. Okay, before Bryn's turn, from that center area of ice, suddenly a figure emerges, breaking free from this crystalline structure. It looks like a small winged creature with an incredibly long icy nose. Its entire body seems to be made of ice. As it pops up out of this icy area here, it is going to fly over to here. And as it does, looking down upon you, Josephine, you notice suddenly as it exhales a blast of cold air. And that is certainly going to be enough to hit you there. So I will ask that you throw a dexterity save.
Okay, I don't see your rolls, but I'll trust you.
You didn't see that posting right there?
I see frost breath, but I don't see like any kind of roll.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Yeah, okay, right. Yep, it's not an attack.
Oh, gotcha. I misunderstood because you said it definitely is enough to hit you, so I thought that was a roll, but you're right. Okay. Dexterity save?
Yes, please. All right, you will succeed on that save as you notice this frost icy breath coming down upon you. You're able to scoot a little bit out of the way, suffering 1 point of cold damage from that.
Ow.
And next up is
Fucker.
Bryn.
Alright.
We still have our temp HP, right? It hasn't gone away.
Temp HP only goes away on a long rest, so correct.
Okay.
Alright. Seeing that, Bryn's gonna run down here and attack it with her longsword.
All right, you move down to there, slashing out towards the creature, and that will indeed connect. Go ahead and post damage. You cut into the creature, and you can hear a crashing sound, almost like breaking glass, as chunks of ice fall off of it as it's damaged very badly.
Alright, try and put it out of its misery.
Ooh, you follow up with a second time, but miss. Reminder, can't fumble on second attack, so that's just a miss.
Dang it.
Okay, so let's see. Before Miza's turn, more of these clumps suddenly moving further, shattering as additional creatures suddenly burst forth. Okay, so from the middle here, the one further to the south is going to do similarly as it flies up to this area and also again tries to breathe some frost breath upon you there, Josephine.
Dex save.
Yes, once again, you're able to get out of the way of the worst of this, suffering just 3 points of cold damage. Let's see, Kurtu did not attempt to hide, and he's fairly close to this one, so this one is going to fly over and do the same to him. So Kurtu, dex save for you as well. You also managed to succeed on this, suffering 1 point of cold damage. And next up is Miza, and she's going to move a bit in the crops to here, and then she will throw a quick pouch dust over at the one next to Kurtu.
Holy shit, Miza.
But unfortunately, the creature's a little bit too fast for her and is able to avoid that pouch dust.
Never mind, I take it all back.
After Miza's turn, but before Eomir's turn, where you are here, Finn, snuggled up in the crops, thinking that you're possibly well hidden. Unfortunately, you are not, as you did not hide well at all. And this one flies over next to you, taking advantage of the fact that you are prone. It is going to attack you at advantage. So defensive roll at disadvantage, please. Oof, this will be a crit against you. I will let you...
Inspiration. How about that?
Okay, sure. You burn your inspiration on that. All right, so yeah, burn that inspiration, and you manage to avoid that strike. And next up we have Eomir.
All right. So, Birdman, Bando, he's going to move right here as my bonus action. He's going to make an attack out at this dude right there.
Yes, that'll certainly connect. Go ahead and post damage. Yeah, so Bando flies in, just slashes down with his talons there, and this thing shatters into a million pieces of ice.
Cool. Okay, so that was 25 feet of movement. He is going to... that's 50. That's where he's going to stay. Nope, he's going to move 10 more. That's where he's going to stay.
Give me an idea of how high off the ground he is right now?
Well, he's probably about 5 feet off the ground.
5
About
feet.
dragon mouth range.
Right, that's what I was checking for, of course.
Yep, dragon mouth range, yep. And then Eomir is, so based on... Hold on. Yeah, you said the dragon's about 60 feet?
60 feet in the air, correct.
Cool. So, like, based on Pythagorean's theorem,
A squared plus B squared equals C squared. You got it.
Yeah.
That does not work with angles to determine shots.
I'm saying
You
D&D
measure it.
5e, they just go real simple. 60 feet away, it's 60 feet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
find like the direction of the shadow and like, just take the shot, Eomir.
Yep, I'm gonna take a shot. 2 of them, because extra attack.
Your first shot misses, but your second attack will manage to connect critically. Go ahead and roll a piercing strike. Or a piercing crit, I should say. Alright, so that's a true crit, so we'll take that damage added together.
Nice job, Ymir.
Yeah.
As the arrow does indeed catch the dragon in the wing.
Yeah, 23 points of damage. And then that's my turn. Like, kill him, guys. Yeah, just enough to piss him off.
All right, Finnegan.
Is he within melee range or is he flying up in the air?
The little guy is within melee range of you as he just attacked you melee.
Okay, I'm gonna stand up with my pot lid and I grab my dagger and go. "Arr!" I'm gonna stab at it with my dagger.
All right, you stab out with your dagger, and this guy is not too quick. You do manage to catch him with that blade. Go ahead and post damage. Yeah, it kind of chips off a little bit of ice, but he still flies.
Okay, and then no bonus. I'm done. End my turn.
All right, this one's turn, and at the same time, several more of these icy structures in the middle of this path suddenly spring forward. Okay, this one here is going to fly to here, and once again, Josephine looks towards you and attempts to hit you with this frost breath.
Ow.
Yes, you managed to evade the worst of that, suffering just 3 points of cold damage.
I am still on temp HP. Amazing.
And let's see, next one here. He is going to fly over to Aomir. And Aomir, he is going to attempt to attack you. So defensive roll, please. Yes, you managed to evade these talons that come slashing at you from this flying icy creature. This one here is going to fly to here and then try to hit Bryn with a bit of this frost breath. And that will be a dexterity saving throw, Bryn. This will catch you fully as you suffer 4 points of cold damage, unable to evade the brunt of it. Okay, this one here also going to fly over to here and going to breathe down upon you, Finn. Finn, dex save, please. Not quick enough as the frostbath strikes into you. You suffer 3 points of cold damage. Gorlami.
Sorry, I took a bite of chicken.
Sounds like an orcish thing to do.
Yeah, bad timing on my chicken bite. All right. So I feel like, at least, or Gorlami feels like, hey, maybe they didn't see me over here. So he's going to silently draw his hammer, because when he's traveling, he just has his shield, and he's going to whisper into the end of it, and you see this kind of glowing orb, like at the very end of his hammer kind of appear, and he sets it like a T on a T-ball, and then he's going to stand up and say, hey, dragon! And then he's going to slap the burst of light, and he's going to cast Guiding Bolt.
At the dragon, I presume?
Yes. It didn't give me the ability to pick what level, Adam.
Only when you post damage. So you're supposed to declare that before you roll your attack. That way you don't get to see if you hit whether or not you choose the level of slot.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to do second level, but because of that, I'll go first level on this one. It's no problem.
Okay, yep. Go ahead and post your damage there.
I'm going to next time, though.
Yes, indeed. All right, the guiding bolt lances out, strikes into the dragon, and wounds it, and it lights it up with that energy.
All right, and then I am going to try to, my best, scoot back into this a little further, and I'm still going to try to be crouched. I know it's not going to do me much because he just saw me smack that thing at him, but I am going to try to just scoot away and give myself a little space. Don't want to clump up against this thing. And I'm going to end my turn for now, Adam.
Okay, we move to the dragon's turn. Dragon's not too happy with what is going on here. He is going to swoop down a bit, heading towards Finn, who is the closest to him. As he gets down closer to you, Finn, you see he rears up, opening that big maw.
I'm really gonna miss your infusions.
Flying downward to roughly here. He's sort of hovering in the air still as he suddenly launches back his gullet and lances forth this blast of icy cold right in both of yours directions. So from both Finn and from Kurtu, I will need Constitution saving throws.
God.
That's a lot of damage.
All
They're
right,
good.
both of you do manage to succeed, suffering half of this. That'll be 23 points of cold damage apiece.
So that you see Finn, he seems to react to this, right? He's like, bah! And he has like a little mini fan, and he like it like absorbs in the fan its energy, and then it's kind of attached to his arm, and it's going to cast absorb elements, and I'm gonna take resistance to that.
So now remind me, so you have a dagger and a shield in your hand, right? And I believe in order to cast spells, don't you have to have your tools?
This is just it is somatic, yeah. So I will have I can't do it. Nope.
Okay, so
Because I'm in melee, yeah.
Yeah, so you will suffer that 23 points of cold damage. Make sure you give yourself that slot back. So he flies down, breathes this ice down here, hitting the two of you. Once that occurs, you're going to see he flies away a bit of a distance. I'm going to keep him on the map. Technically, he's slightly off map at this point. And still in the air now, only about 15 feet, however. And let me just see if we've got any other cluster. Oh, we do have one more cluster before Kurtu's turn. Okay, another one of these crystalline structures pops open, and this one here is actually going to fly up and attack Bando. So defensive roll from Bando, please. Yes, Bando manages to evade the screeching talons of this creature, and the frostiness upon them has moved to Kurtu's turn.
Thank you for not saying Brando.
What a mean white dragon you are! And to think I was gonna let you rule us. That's not happening. Nope. Take this, fireball!
I'm gonna cast Fireball right here at him. Or, well, wherever Finn's not gonna be, if I can go ahead and...
Well, if you
try to
remember how to
find
do that smart AoE thing, grab your fireball, put it where you like, you'll see exactly who it is you might be hitting.
Alright, my apologies. Can you talk me through that again? This is the second time you're doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Top right corner, you'll notice the bulleted list icon. If you click on that, you'll see a list of macros. You'll find the one that's called cast-fireball. There's a die icon just to the left of those words. Click on the die with your token selected, and then that should pop up a little targeting icon and let you move it.
Right, and it should be... It says it's in my bar. Okay, cast Fireball, there it is.
Perfect. Now just drag that targeting icon where you would like the center of the fireball to be, and that is where it will start showing you the affected squares.
Alright, so we'll just kind of move that tad because Finn said he doesn't want to be cooked like some of his food. So... there we go.
Okay, that looks like that'll work. And when you're ready, you should see a trigger all button as one of your action buttons. Alright, you conjure up this fireball, sending it out there where you see the little crystalline creature immediately is just melted and drips into water on the ground. The dragon is wounded, however, still flying.
And Adam, help me out here a little bit. I'm getting used to my sorcery points system. So if I use Quicken Spell now, I can... I'd like to Quicken Spell right now, and then cast Firebolt as well at the dragon.
You can do that. Quicken Spell, I believe, is 2 sorcery points. I think we've got that built in for you as an attack. So if you use Quicken Spell on your action attack bar thingy, on the character sheet, there you go. And then you can post a Firebolt, as you are now able to cast that as a bonus action.
And also I would have advantage on that, plus I have Bless, so...
From Guiding Bolt, yes. That'll certainly connect.
And because Where's your extra bead? Here's some extra fire.
All right, the firebolt streaks out, hitting the dragon in the leg area, scorching it once again after having just been scorched by this fireball. And yes, it looks badly wounded.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and let's see. That's 1, 2, 3. So Adam, I'm going to go ahead and move 3 more just because I'm going to try to get away from extra.
So as long as you stay in the area that looks not super packed with crops, it's all normal. If you try to push through those really thick collections, consider that difficult terrain.
Okay, and by that, Adam, I was thinking about moving down here.
So yeah, if you go south, you're good. Like east, southeast, you're good. If you tried to go straight east right now, then I would say that's difficult terrain as you're moving like right in the center of that clump.
Okay, all right, thank you. I'll just go there. I went down south and then to the right.
That works.
I went that way there. Yeah, that way. Okay, I'll go ahead and end my turn. Thanks. Sorry about it taking me a while.
No worries at all. All right, after Kurtu's turn, but before the top of the round is another one of these crystalline structures that burst free from the icy path. And being right next to Bando, it is going to fly on the other side of him to take advantage of flanking as it attacks the bird. Defensive roll from Bando. Once again, Bando manages to evade these terrifying little creatures as I just skipped turns I didn't mean to. So back to the top of the round with Josephine.
Dare you? How far in the air is the dragon?
He's 15 feet in the air right now.
And my reach is 5. Do you see my arrow right now?
Yes.
If I do this, am I running through any difficult terrain?
Yes. In the center here where there's this clump, this would be considered difficult terrain here.
Oh, so the whole thing?
Yeah, so if you notice the areas where there's kind of like thinning, anywhere in the thin area, consider that all normal. But if you go through it what's really clumped, then that would be difficult terrain.
Let me just count. So 1, 2, I can't fucking get there.
And remember, technically he's a little bit off map, so he's not exactly where his token is.
Oh yeah, you're right. I definitely can't get there. Well, we're gonna fight the little dudes then.
I love how we're like, we could end this right now.
I had a plan to like jump in the air and fucking grapple his ass with my astral arms, but this isn't gonna work.
That would be an epic scene for sure.
Okay, so that is the ruler still. I'm gonna leave these 2 scrubs behind because I think Bryn's got this part under control. So I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Are all 3 of these guys within 10 feet of the ground?
Yes.
Okay. So 30. Now I'm gonna pop my astral arms. So bonus action, they come out. All 3 of these dudes have to make a dex save, which I guess is a spell effect roll. Yes.
Yes.
So is it
3 separate?
One per all. So 3 separate. Okay. So we'll go top bottom. So that's the first one.
So I don't think this is working for. Yeah, it's definitely not working.
Yeah, it's definitely
properly.
not working for
so
me.
I'm gonna take your rolls, but this should be a. What is this based on? Your wisdom?
It's based on, it's yeah, so it's the same effect roll as like stunning strike and stuff, so it would be 8 plus proficiency plus wisdom.
Okay, so just throw a last wisdom saving throw. I'll take your first 2 rolls and then factor in your bonuses.
Okay. So wisdom save. Well, I'm not proficient in wisdom saves though.
Oh, just throw a.
Can I roll a d20 plus 5?
Yeah, that'll work.
1d20 plus 5. And I nat that one, so.
Okay, so the first one is going to affect it, but the next 2 are going to save. So is there any effect on a save?
No effect on save, but 2 rolls on my martial arts side, which is a d6 on the other guy as force damage.
Okay.
So there's that.
All right, so the top guy gets struck by that force damage from your arms emerging and is wounded. The other two escape.
Okay. And then I will use first attack with my staff on this guy. This is now my action. So attack 1 with quarterstaff two-handed.
That will connect.
13.
All right, you smash into him solidly, wounding him badly as part of his body cracks.
Alright, and then I guess I will make my second and final attack against the same guy since he didn't die. So... Bah!
Yes, and that is enough to shatter him.
Alright, and then... I have 10 more feet and I'm not engaged with these guys. So... Does it still look like bludgeoning is doing effective damage, or was that just for the cocoons?
No, it seems like it's very effective against them.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and move into melee with this guy. No, you know what? I'm going to move into melee with both of them because I have 10 feet, so... There.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right, next up is Bryn.
Alright. Bryn will roll down here and attack that one.
All right, you step down, push through the thicker part of those crops, slash out, and indeed connect. Go ahead and post damage. You wound this one very badly as you notice this entire body is fractured and on the edge of shattering.
Try and kill. Shoot.
Oof, that's twice in a row for you that happened. But yeah, no fumble on the second attack, just a whiff.
Rat. Come at me, little ice bros.
Alright, and he is going to do exactly that, but instead of trying to fight you in melee, because he doesn't like his chances, he is just simply going to attempt to breathe upon you, so dex saving throw. You will fail that save, suffering 5 points of cold damage. Alright, this one here is going to fly to here, putting Josephine in the flank, and will attempt an attack. So, a defensive roll from Josephine.
Roll -2.
You are able to dodge that easily.
Get fucked.
Alright, Miza's turn. She's going to throw some pouch dust at the one next to Aomir. That will manage to connect as the radiant damage cascades down upon him with all this pouch dust and wounds him. Alright, this one is still engaged in combat with Finn. So Finn, another defensive roll as it attempts to attack you. Yeah, once again, you manage to evade those slashing talons as we move to Aomir.
Okay, so you said the dragon is off map.
He's a little bit off map and 15 feet in the air.
Okay. Along the... I have 150 feet. That's... Yeah, 150 feet. Okay, I'm going to have Bando come down here. 25 feet or 30 feet and make an attack at this guy. When he's flying, he does not take opportunity attacks.
Okay.
Shred. That's going to miss.
That unfortunately will miss.
Okay, I'm going to kind of pivot.
I'll ask, does it get flank advantage?
No, because Aomir has bow in hand.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to pivot here. Darn it, Bando, you should have rolled better. I'm going to take some shots at this guy. I know I'm going to have disadvantage, but...
Okay, so you're trying to shoot at the dragon from where you're at.
Correct.
Yeah, that'll certainly work. Yeah, he's high enough up in the air that you don't have to worry about the crops. Okay, so disadvantage. Unfortunately, both shots will miss.
What if I change my mind on...
It's too late to do that now.
on having disadvantage?
Say it again.
Don't forget, we have hero points. I'm going to use one. I'm in this epic battle. I say, you little mosquito-looking iceberg. I'm a gnome. I can do anything.
You stab out with a dagger and do connect.
And I did use a hero point, other than I don't have to roll it.
As you chip away more at his body. Alright, this one's turn. He's going to fly into a flank position against Bryn. Bryn, defensive roll, please. He manages to get through your defenses, dealing 5 slashing damage and 2 cold damage. This one here is going to... he is actually going to attack Bando. So defensive roll from Bando. Yes, Bando manages to evade that attack. This one is dead, so we'll move him out of the initiative order as we move to Gorlami.
Okie dokie. Gorlami is going to step out of the corn to here, and he is going to use his movement to go up to here for 30 feet, and then, yeah, let's go ahead and use. He's going to do his adrenaline rush as a bonus action, Adam.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take those temp HP because it's more than what I got now. So that takes me from 1 temp to 3 temps instead, and then I can move as a dash. So I'm going to move here, cutting through this alley of corn to here, and as I like burst out, you see like the end of his hammer is really charged up with that same similar energy, and he's going to try to T-ball off another guiding bolt. But I'm a hero point this one, and it's going to be 2nd level, Adam.
Okay, casting at 2nd level, sure.
There's the hero point, and then guiding bolt.
This will unfortunately miss.
Let me do the damage so I at least burn the spell slot. Alright, I tried to go for it, but I missed. So there we are.
Almost.
Alright, as you can likely imagine, the dragon beats a very hasty retreat here, flying off map northeast and hanging very low to the ground, but getting very far away. Exact distance, hard for you guys to tell.
As he's flying away, I shout, "Pussy!"
You're not sure if he hears you or not, but I'm sure your companions do. So, let's see, this guy here, he is...
Can I magic missile him?
We'll have to wait till your turn to see what you can see.
Oh, sorry, I was just getting all excited. You know, dragon meat's delicious. I mean, whoops.
This one will fly to here and attempt to breathe some frosty breath upon Gorlami.
Oh, now that I'm out and about, huh?
He sees you now. You're hiding so well. 3 cold damage to you as we move to Kurtu.
That's his temp HP.
So Kurtu, as you look to the north, all you are seeing at your approximately 3-foot stature is rows and rows of crops.
All right, Adam. So if I went ahead and, I mean, I don't want to go off here, but I'm going to go ahead and move anyway and take a look.
Sure.
Any luck so far?
Just rows and rows of crops.
Anything else?
More crops.
Crops. I mean, craps. Oh, whoops, crops. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't see anything. I'm gonna go ahead and hold an action since I'm kind of done with movement and everything. If I see it happen to come back into view, Adam, I'm going to cast Magic Missile.
Alright, so that means you pre-cast Magic Missile and hold the energy, and then if it doesn't come by, you do lose that spell slot. Is that what you like to do?
Yeah, I think it's running away, but I can't. I gotta do something, so that's what I'll do.
Okay, fair enough. You've got Magic Missile ready and locked and loaded. Alright, this one is still engaged with Josephine here, so Josephine, defensive roll, please.
Oh, sorry. I was reading a Discord message.
No worries.
Defensive roll.
Yes, you managed to evade those slashing talons, and it is your turn, Josephine.
Alright. Is the guy above me hurt? I can't tell because my
He is.
thing. Okay. I'm gonna take my first staff attack at him.
yes, your staff connects solidly. He is near death as his whole body looks like it's just on the verge of destruction.
Okay, and I have to take both attack actions before I can do my bonus action hit, right?
Correct. When you start the attack, you have to do both attacks.
Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure this guy dies with the second staff attack then.
He does indeed, as he is shattered.
Alright, and then... they're unarmed strikes, though. I will use my regular monk instead of my astral arms to do bludgeoning instead of force here. So here comes monk unarmed strike.
Yeah, jump kick perhaps hits him. Go ahead and post damage. That is enough with a solid smack right to his sternum that he also shatters.
And then Amir's fine, Bryn looks fine. Finn looks like he's locked in Mortal Kombat over here, so I will head this direction. Can I see the dragon from where I'm at?
You cannot. Just rows and rows of crops.
Okay, then I'm gonna focus on the threats in front of me. Do I see any more cocoons spawning in the ice thing, or are they done?
On a quick glance of passive perception, you do not.
Okay, so I will hang out here and help Finn out with this dude.
Okay, Bryn.
Bryn's gonna attack the one to her south.
Yeah, slash into it is so badly wounded you don't even need to roll as it is instantly destroyed.
Then she'll turn north and hack out at that one.
You slice through some corn stalks here, separating the cobs from the stems, hitting it, wounding it. Go ahead and post damage. Wounding it badly, but it still flies here.
Die!
All right, Misa will throw some pouch dust on the one that's bothering Aomir at the moment. But unfortunately, the creature's a little too fast for her there. All right, this one's still engaged in combat with Finn. Finn, as you're bantering with it, you realize that these things can actually talk, as finally you notice it looks at you and says, "No, you can't do anything! Take this!" And then it breathes ice right upon you. And it critically hits you. Go ahead and roll a frost or cold crit upon yourself there, Finn. Oof. Okay, so wow, this guy really, that was a hero point moment for him. So twice as much damage, so that will be an additional some damage I'll add to that. And then you are paralyzed until the end of the turn. Wait, you want to roll another one bad against you?
Didn't it say I have to roll on a
It
minor
says
injury
if
chart?
the creature takes damage before the end of its next turn, roll on the minor chart. Okay, so twice as many. So let me add some additional damage on top of that base 5. So 3 more, total of 8 points of cold damage from that very intense cold breath, and you are paralyzed. So a quick reminder, you can click on your token, do toggle condition, choose paralyzed. So that one should be in there. I think that's a standard condition, and it should get you set up with the appropriate icon there. Perfect. All right, that's his turn. We move to Aomir.
Okay. So the dragon, how far out is it? Can I see it from here?
You cannot.
Is it because of the crops?
Yes, he is. You notice as he was flying away, he like went down basically to essentially, you assume, use the crops as like a line of sight blocker. So yes, as you're looking in that direction, you do not see him. You see rows of crops. You can hear your companions fighting, but looking into the air above the crops, it does not look like he's flying above the crops.
Okay, so around this, like if oh man.
So this is obviously just a snapshot of what you're seeing in this area. So don't think of it as like as soon as you step away, everything's suddenly open. It's, you know, the crops continue for quite a distance, and mostly an eastern direction, also a little bit in the west and slightly north.
Yep. Okay, so that was actually my question. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have Bando. I'm gonna have Bando kill that guy.
Said with such confidence. Oh, it hits. Let's see it. Indeed, yes, he does tear it apart, and it is slain.
What a champ.
Can I like jump over the
Jump shot.
Yeah, like jump to get line of sight.
You jump very quickly, but you do not see him, even with the benefits of your jump.
Okay. Oh, give me a second here. Just want to double check this thing. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, that's fine. Finn looks like... Actually, everyone looks like they've got everything under control. I'm gonna kill this guy real quick.
Finn looks like he's got this mean look. He's got a chef knife in his hand, and he's frozen.
I was going to say, I'm picturing him slightly ice cubed right now. But yes, that'll certainly connect. Go ahead and post damage. Smashing into the creature solidly and destroying as it shatters.
Okay, I'm gonna step right here and kill this guy.
All right, you line up, take your second shot, but unfortunately this one gets caught up in the crops.
No, I block it with my hammer, and I look at him and I say, "No, he's mine."
I like it. Alright, that's my turn.
All right, now I believe, Finn, you're paralyzed to the end of your turn, I think it said? To
Yeah,
the end of its next turn. So yeah, essentially your turn ends, but then you're no longer paralyzed.
Me and my chef knife frozen in ice.
Yep, so your turn will pass, but then feel free to remove that paralyzed icon, as that will no longer be affecting you. This one's still engaged in combat with Bryn. Bryn, it tries to slash at you with its claws. Go ahead and throw a defensive roll, please. It manages to get through your defenses, slashing into you, dealing 5 points of slashing and 3 cold. As we move to Gorlami.
Alright, I'm just gonna take a good old hammer swing at this icy mosquito, as Finn called it.
That solidly connects.
And I guess that guy's gone.
Max damage, so your max, go ahead and post damage. I'll find what your max is.
12, I think.
Yeah, so as you slam into it, you also recognize these creatures are particularly vulnerable to bludgeoning damage, and with this massive strike, it is shattered in one swing.
Plonk. Stupid dragon. I'm gonna go over here and make sure Finn's okay.
Seeing my friend Finn is covered with ice, I'm gonna cast Firebolt on him to free him of the ice.
All right, sure, yeah, you could do that, I guess.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use that this spell for Magic Missile just to get rid of it, Adam. Just to use up the spell slot.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant you were throwing that at Finn. Okay,
Well,
gotcha.
Not during real combat, right? You know, that's off script. So.
Absolutely, yeah. So that energy not taking effect as you hadn't seen the dragon dissipates in your hands.
Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and move. I'm going to use the dash action just to use up so I can get back into area here. I'm just going to end there and end my turn.
All right, top of the next round, Josephine.
Josephine. Will. So we said this is like all cornfield out here. There's like no fucking shot we're running after this dragon, right?
I mean, you can certainly run after it, but based on the speed that you see it flying, you don't think there's any chance you have to actually catch it.
I miss Kat so much right now. Because she probably could. Let's see. Am I really 45 feet away? That's fine. So I'll move my full movement straight down, which is 40. Fuck me, that's the ruler still. 40 gets me here. I have 10 feet of range on my astral arms, so I'm going to use those attacks against this guy. I assume I don't get flanking because we're technically not next to him.
Correct.
Okay. So unarmed strike 1. That might miss.
That will miss.
Unarmed strike 2.
That'll certainly connect. Yeah.
It's force, not bludgeoning.
force, even still, enough to destroy it as it shatters into pieces.
Super.
All right,
Do
folks, I
I-
believe that is all the obvious enemies, so we can go ahead and end combat here, as we'll go ahead and put on some more less tense music. So yeah, guys, you notice that you have defeated all of these little creatures that popped up, but probably the first thing that jumps to your mind is this is something different that did not happen. Those of you that fought the dragon the first time, you remember it breathing some ice on you. And anybody, I will say, Aomir here certainly can. Anybody else, maybe Kurtu, I would agree here as well. Go ahead and give me, I will say, your choice of a survival or arcana check here as to gather some insights that you guys might particularly gather that others might not.
So
Not
with,
me because I wasn't there.
with
This is more
dragon-
based on background and knowledge of dragons is what I'm going
Okay.
for.
Yep. So with dragon being my favorite enemy, can I make that an advantage?
Sure.
Cool. So I'm
And
gonna
I
do
assume you want survival?
survival.
Adam, I'm sure my Arcana is higher than my survival, but you know.
Okay, I'm assuming you wanted to do Arcana as well. Okay,
Yeah.
so what I would say first that you gather here, Kurtu, is that this effect, this shooting ice that it crosses the ground and causes creatures to come forth, this is not something typically associated with cold dragons, white dragons. In general, white dragons are thought to be very bestial and not particularly smart, or they're not usually associated with any crafty techniques or skills or anything like that. They're pretty much just rush right at you and attack with their strengths, and if they win, great. If they don't, they run or die. This certainly portends perhaps is a better term, something else is going on with this dragon. Aomir, I would say you come to a similar conclusion, as this is not something that you have ever heard of in your knowledge of studying dragons and how to take them down. Based on the amount of time that you have scanned around this area and spent in the area, you going with your companions, all of that, I would say you are quite confident that this dragon must be lairing somewhere up in the mountains. So I will switch you guys over to the Sword Coast map real quick, just to give Aomir a quick idea. And as you guys are likely leaving the crop field here just momentarily.
Yeah. That's you're already. Well, I already told you what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm going with this. So as you are, again, thinking this idea, you're assuming that, again, this mountain range, this runs from here all the way down. Based on the trajectory of the attacks, listening to some information that you've gotten from the town and all that, you're guessing that it's somewhere up here in this area, right, is where this dragon must be making its main lair or home.
Okay. So yeah, after combat, I guess Aomir is gonna kind of run up to the rest of the group, kind of with almost like a sneer in his face. And that is a blight upon Faerun. It must die.
I thought it was a dragon. What do you mean a blight?
Didn't you guys get your ass kicked by blights a couple days ago?
I'm metaphorical.
You see Kurtu kind of walking around strutting his stuff. He looks a foot taller. Going,
Did you see that I chased it away? A fireball here and a firebolt there. The dragon? Yep. It was nothing. It was just a small one. Cool.
Small one. Do you think its bones are strong?
Most likely. Well, it's a dragon.
Yes, but I mean, if it's still growing, that's disconcerting. I need specific things to make this set of armor, and I need a strong dragon. Like Kurtu said, I mean, we almost took it here and now in this cornfield.
Exactly. Well, regardless, we hate to say it this way, but we must kill it before it reaches maturity. Adam, can I tell what kind of age it was?
You would approximate a young dragon.
Okay. I'm just trying not to metagame.
yeah, I actually wrote that. I don't know if this character was in there already, but I wrote that the first time, and so that's not metagaming. So we know.
Yeah, it might be a different dragon. You never know. But either way, yeah, this dragon, it must die.
I gave him a chance to join my friends over there on across the ocean. He doesn't want to. I don't think he's very nice. I don't think he'd make a good ruler.
Gertrude, did you say that dragon meat is delicious?
No, that was me talking out of character. No, I don't eat dragon meat.
I would never eat that filth. And I'm gonna kind of, if I can, Adam, I'm gonna kind of like look on the ground and do my little ranger tracking thing and start heading that way.
Heading what way?
Heading well.
Yeah,
What?
heading the way the dragon went.
So
just
the
gonna
dragon
kinda-
never landed on ground, so you're not going to get any kind of indication that. But based on the information, again, as we just discussed, you assume it's to the northeast, up in the tips of those mountains, is most likely. So is what you're saying is you would like to make your path towards those mountains now?
If nobody objects.
I'll meet you there. I'm gonna take a rest first over here at the inn. I need to get, food and a good night's sleep.
Those mountains are hundreds of square miles, man. We could try to go after it, but it's gonna beat us there. It's gonna be better by the time we get there, if we ever do. Why don't we just take a break in Phandalin for a while and plan our next move? He'll be back, and we just showed that we can kick his ass pretty easily, so
And
not that big a concern.
maybe Toblin knows, maybe like a old ruin or something along the mine or the mountain that we can check out. More information is needed. But I appreciate your spirit, Ymir, and your arrow struck true today. It's nice.
Yes, very well, very well. I think a rest is in order. We've been traveling quite a while.
We're right here. Take advantage of the location. Location. That's that's the important stuff.
And I'm sure the Phandalineers will be very happy to hear that they're not going to have a visit from the dragon today.
I also think that we should investigate this shrine or whatever the were-rats and the other people told us about. I mean, it can't be far, right?
Yes.
Refresh my memory. What are we talking about?
So I'm gonna pull out Reggie's journal and I'm gonna go back a few pages to the beginning of it, and I'm gonna highlight a certain area. Reggie talked about, or he wrote down in the journal how when we went to Falcon's Hunting Lodge, going to Butterskull Ranch, we heard a rumor that some of the orcs may have come down towards Connieberry, which is closer towards Phandalin. And then when we went and spoke with the Rare Rats, they said that they were pushed away from their previous home of the, I think they called it a shrine, which is why I keep saying it, but I'm not 100% on the shrine, but they said it was close to Connieberry. And remember, they offered, like, hey, y'all go clear it out for us or something. They seemed like they were lying through their teeth, but there's two different rumors about orcs there, and I think we should go clear that out, because if there's orcs that close to Phandalin, can't be good.
You know what is good is this corn. It's actually white corn. I think this one is. Hey Adam, can I take 2 ears of corn?
For some reason, I imagine Finn's looking at a piece of corn covered with ice breath right now. White corn, yeah, but yes.
Ooh, my hands they're loosening up. All right, I'm ready.
Adam, I'm gonna go over to where the dragon was. I'm gonna see if I can find any dragon paraphernalia.
So remember, the dragon never landed, so when you say where he was, if you're just looking at the ground underneath, you can spend some time, but again, based on your knowledge, you're pretty confident you are not going to find anything like fallen scales or anything along those lines.
Well, that's what I was looking for. You never know. I mean, maybe it was shedding season. I don't know. You guys ready to go to town?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, so you guys make the last little bit of the journey and find yourselves in Phandalin proper.
What time of day is it? I forgot.
It's like mid-afternoon at this point in time, maybe 4 p.m., something like that.
Okay, well, first thing we gotta do, I need to go to Barthen's real quick and get some more provisions since it's on the way.
And I don't mean to be rude, but I don't want to turn into a rat. I mean, could you imagine a Dragoran were-rat? I mean, that doesn't sound good. So I'm hoping that I get the curse removed because it bit me twice. I'm afraid. I mean, not afraid, but I don't think that would be good for any of us.
You sure it could be so bad? I mean, you could be a whole traveling zoo just by yourself.
You could be a
Could make a lot of money.
by yourself. No, bad idea, you.
So, if I can get a rest, I mean, I know last time you said that I wasn't welcome in the inn anymore, so I don't know if I'll be able to sleep here. But
They
if
might
I
be
can-
more grateful when they walk out of town and see that big cluster of ice that could have been the ruins of Phandalin had we not been happening around. So we'll back you up, buddy.
Sure, but if I get some sleep, I can definitely try to remove the curse. And Josephine, I can help you if you want it. I mean, you seem to be kind of not wanting it, but if you want it, I can help.
Oh, I'm memeing, dude. I don't want to be a rat person. But if I gotta be, them's the breaks.
Oh, just some sleep, and I'll try in the morning.
Hey, Adam, I remember I got bit, but you never had me do a con save, so I don't think I have it. Would I know that?
You would not know.
Did he get bit? I don't remember. I thought he wasn't there.
Yeah, but during this last fight, there was I remember I got bit, but he didn't tell me to make a con save, so I didn't feel like it was particularly
I don't know if this
powerful
will help you at all, but I've got a perfect list of who's affected right here, but I'm just not sharing it.
Yeah, I figured that. A perfect list, guys. It's perfect.
Well, I was successful in removing the curse from myself and Bryn. So we know it can be removed.
I trust you, buddy. We still got plenty of time.
Wonderful.
It's been like 2 days, so... And the moon was waning, so we still got almost a full cycle left.
The great thing is that Josephine wants to be last. I want to be first. I'll be honest.
Okay, well, I'm going to Barthen's.
I will go with you. I'll watch your back.
I need to sharpen my chef knife, too. It hardly did any damage.
All right, Finn, as you make your way to Barthen's, you find the store much like you've left it in the past. Does seem like there's a few more people here, perhaps stocking up on provisions. As you step through the door, you can see maybe 4 people in total in the store, and you can see Barthen himself behind the counter, scratching at his throat a bit here as he looks towards you.
Hey, Barth, what's the news? Well, you're getting lots of business. Well, why is that?
I think everybody's stocking up. Excuse me, I came down with a bit of a cold recently. I don't get too close, but want to pass it to you. But yeah, it's people stocking up.
Oh, man. Yeah, you don't sound good. Huh. All right. Well, what you got? What you got that I could buy? Do you have any ingredients for my treats? I need to buy one more special food, 7.
Yeah, and I think we come up with a price for these before? I believe we did, right? Was it
Like silver, I think.
1 silver per treat?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he will certainly sell you that. Yep.
Okay. So is this thing going around, or is a lot of people getting sick around here?
I know me and one of my boys here are helping me out. I think I got it for him, but he says he got it for me. Who knows? But try to stay away as best I can. But work waits on no man.
Oh, that's true. You gotta work. You got any beef?
Beef? Yeah, I have some still salted. Let me see what I got. Can't really yell for him anymore. Just give me a minute. You see he hops up off his little counter here, his little stool, and slowly makes his way. And you see he's breathing kind of heavy as he makes his way into the back, and you hear some coughing and braided speaking, and a little bit he comes back out and lays this like covered with, you seem to be almost kind of like a wax paper, I guess, as he lays it on the counter. 1 pound, or how much do you need?
Oh, take a pound.
A pound of beef. Let's call it 5 silver.
Okay, here you go. Hope you feel better. Drink lots of water. Gotta rest, and maybe I can come up with something to help you out.
Just need time. That's all I need.
Barthen, did you happen to get caught in that rain the other night?
So just to clarify, my assumption here was that only Finn and Bryn went inside, being the fact that that's what they said. Would you have liked to have joined them, Gorlami?
Nah, to be honest, probably not, because I don't want to freak anybody out.
All right, fair enough. All right, so Finn, it looks like you've concluded your shopping as Bryn stands kind of guard, I imagine, by the door, making sure there's no issues here. Yet you do notice people kind of moving through, speaking with Barthen, requesting a few different things. Occasionally you notice one of the young men that works for him here. You remember there's 2 of them that frequently help him. It looks like one's doing most of the work. As you kind of walk through the store and see like a angle of vision into the back room, you notice the one who's ill kind of leaning against the counter on this other chair, and just like his face looks all snotted up and red and hoarse from coughing and stuff. But the other one seems to be decently fine and helping people as best he can.
Let's get out of here, Bryn. I don't want to catch it. I put in my mouth. Let's get out.
Yes, that is disgusting. Let's go.
I hope he was at least wearing gloves when he handed you that meat.
Oh, I'll cook it up good. Kills everything.
I think I remember Eomer saying he owes us a round of drinks for not helping in the mine, fucking around out in the wilderness while we were fighting for our lives.
Yes,
Okay.
I think he should buy us around.
Absolutely. And Josephine, you don't have to wear the goggles during the day, although it looks really cool.
It does look cool, doesn't it?
Yes.
You do you, Josephine.
I'll pop him up on top of my head like a little mechanic.
All right, sounds good. Sounds like your group would like to make your way to the Stonehill Inn.
Yeah, we need to find out where we can get Gore a place to stay.
I mean, I could tell him what happened. We defended the town right now from the dragon up to the north.
Yeah, let's hope that's good.
Okay, Gore, do you want to stay out here? Or, come in. You've been inside yet, Gore?
Yes, I mean, I've spoken to Toblin a few times. Yeah, it's just, I don't want to make anybody feel uneasy. It's already kind of like everybody's on edge. How about you go and speak to him for me, and I'm going to go over here to that open area and say a prayer next to the shrine.
Okay. Okay, we'll be right back. And I'll walk inside.
I'll go with.
So I'm assuming that the group enters besides Gorlami, who heads out towards the Shrine of Luck there. So rest of the group enters. For ease of play, I'm just going to move all of you guys over to the Stonehill Inn map. Unless, Gorlami, there's anything in particular you need, let me know, and we can separate you.
I did. I like, as I'm like, taking a kneel and praying in front of that shrine, I want to kind of mask my prayer with a ritual cast of detect poison and disease.
So what I will say here is, it doesn't look like there's anybody particularly observing you, but if they knew anything at all about spellcasting, you don't think this ruse would trick them in any type of way. Rituals, sort of saying like, I pray to so-and-so, is very different from waving your hands about and saying magical incantations.
No, I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
So just fair. I just want to make sure you don't think you're, pulling a fast one on folks. But like I say, it doesn't look like anybody's really watching you at this point, so you don't think you're being observed.
Yeah, I don't want to be standing up and making a butt, doing big old chants and orc circles in the dirt or nothing like that. I mean, as calm as I can do it.
Beating a war drum, squeezing off a horn.
I think about that scene from R.A. Salvatore's book when they're like trying to make what's his name turn into Gramash, and they're like all in the doing the circle with the drums. That's what I was thinking.
All right, so group, as you enter into the Stonehill Inn here, it looks much again like you left it. You can see that there's not a ton of people here. You do notice Toblin kind of standing behind the counter bored with these customary cleaning rag hung on his shoulder, like a garment here, ready for battle. You can see a couple patrons, and probably there's one individual that sticks out to you as an individual you don't think you've spotted in the past. An older gentleman who is very distinctive in appearance, who has very snow white hair with a pretty close cropped beard, though it has a little bit of a shag to it. His face is rarely wrinkled with time and age, though he has piercing blue eyes that seem to stick out from his crinkled flesh that otherwise seems to almost try to seal his eyes shut with age. And most distinctively, you notice a very prominent scar from the top left of his face to the lower right of his face as you're looking right at him. You see he's sort of sitting in the corner by himself, seems to be wearing a breastplate that has some type of inscription upon it, though the way he's sitting, like leaned forward with his arms across his chest, you can't make fully all of it out. And there's also a red garment that is under that breastplate, which seems to also become part of a cape or cloak, and that hangs below him. You can see he's just sort of sitting in the corner here, looking down. As the door opens, he raises his eyes and just sort of looks at you for a moment as he's slurping at some soup. He doesn't look in any way interested in you at all, just kind of slurps the soup. And after you guys come in and a few minutes go by, or a few moments I should say, he seems to just return back to his soup.
Well, I ignore him anyway. I can go up to the bar with my feet dangling from the bar stool and sit my stuff down. Toblin, long time no see. What's going on?
Oh, welcome back, Finn. It's not been too long, I don't suppose, but, well, it seems as though everybody's very antsy as before. I'm sure you remember, but, nothing terrible has happened very recently in the last day or so. I believe you were headed out to aid that gentleman, Mr. Raskin. How did things go there?
Oh, it was a shit show. Complete, utter. Do you have a drink? And Aylmer's buying, and I point from behind, like, he's buying, and I'll take one of those ales. I don't know. I can trust the guy, but and more importantly, there was a dragon to the north, and we defended it once again. And do you remember Gore?
We didn't defend the dragon. No, we didn't defend the dragon.
We did defend it. No, yeah, we defended Van Dalen, and we should the dragon.
Elbow.
Kurtu. Oh, get up here, Kurtu. I can't even see you. And so we shooed the dragon away. You remember Gore, my friend? He's kind of looks like, well, he's like an orc, like a half orc, but he's a good orc. Anyway, we need a rest, and I know it might look weird, but do you think we can get some rooms for tonight and stick around here, and Gore can get a good night's sleep?
You see he takes that rag off of his shoulder as he starts wiping one of these mugs in front of him. That was a lot of statements all at once. Let me try to break those down. The first, your friend's buying. What would you like? We have, of course, perry, stout, bitter, ale. Any of those whet your fancy?
Any cider?
Cider. I think I might have a cask of cider down below. But I'd have to pull it. It'd be a little bit more of a delay. If you wish for that, I can send one of the ladies down.
That'd be great. And if you want to charge a little extra for it, Aylmer's buying.
And you see he looks at you with a slight smile. That sounds like more than appropriate. Yes, excellent. Well done. Secondly, the town once again knows you a great debt if you have fought off this dragon. I'm afraid it seems as though we will live under these attacks by the dragon until someone puts it out of its misery. But there is also the matter of these orcs. All these talk and the fact that they seemingly have destroyed Falcon's hunting lodge. Some folks think that they are getting closer and closer to the town proper and may attack us en masse at any time. It seems though there is no peace to be gained here in Phandalin at the moment. Hopefully your group can aid in that way in some manner. As for your friend Gorlami, as you have referred to him as, I certainly don't wish to be a stickler, but it is important that everybody is comfortable here in the inn and can relax, and right now, with the attacks from orcs, as you can imagine, people are very much nervous when an orc is around. I've had multiple people ask me not to allow any orcs, even half-orcs, into the inn at the moment. I wish I could say that I would just ignore these type of requests, but unfortunately I have to worry about the bottom coin, of course. If people don't purchase things because they're not happy with the company inside, well, that really causes me to lose business. I can't pay my employees as well, as the both of you should know and find important, as you have both worked here.
Maybe Miza's got, she's smaller, but maybe she's got room over at her house. I don't know, maybe.
I don't think Mize is from here.
She is not.
Yeah, that's like season 1, don't you remember? You should go to the recap.
I don't remember. I've been here before, but that was in other campaigns. I don't remember.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Brad.
that was in the mine we had. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe is there like an abandoned house or something we can rent for him or something? I mean, he's been good to us.
There's no abandoned homes that I am familiar with, I'm afraid. If you're really risky and want to take chances, well, there's this old manor out on the east side of town. You may have heard of it before. It goes by the name the Tresendar Manor. It's home to some unfortunate business some years ago. Some people think that it is still haunted, or perhaps being used for some type of criminal activity. Nonetheless, if he's willing to take such chances, I don't imagine anybody would bother him out there.
I mean, there's no place for a friend to get a long rest in this town. Toblin, we gotta find something. He's been heroic, actually, and we gotta think of something. You know this town better than anyone.
I do, and because of that very reason, you must understand I have to be very careful in these goings-ons. For you see, if I was to point you to somebody whom in town might be more open-minded and more friendly and willing to put up your friend for a period of time, then word would spread that that is how he made such accommodations. And then, of course, that would cause me a loss of business. It's not good, unfortunately, but being a owner of this business of the Stonehill Inn, I must worry about what every person who lives here thinks about. For if they don't shop here, if they don't purchase my ale, purchase my food, I'm quickly out of business.
You know what? I have an idea. So I can cook, but I also can make stuff. If I can make him look a little different, and then you're not, but no one in this inn knows, and he could stay in the inn. He'll look like a normal person. I just need to make a little drink for him, and it'll change his appearance. And would that be okay?
Well, if he looked like a normal person, yes, I suppose it would. Just, you'd have to make sure he did not speak like an orc, or, call him by that same name, but maybe if you were to call him something new, and yes, hide his appearance, that probably would be sufficient, but don't even tell me, because if I don't know, then I can't be responsible.
Right.
And he could go by the name Elliot, because I see that in Discord. And also, I think that maybe he could just stay in his in the room too. He doesn't need to come down. We just bring food up to him.
As long as when he passes through the common rooms here, and nobody
Shush, we're
sees
not
him-
telling you this. Shush. You don't know nothing about that. I was looking at Finn. That wink, nod.
Okay, Toblin, we'll take 6 rooms. Or we'll take our normal rooms. You probably don't have that many, but we'll take whatever we can for tonight.
Certainly, 5 silvers per room per night.
Okay. So I have 5 silver per room. Hey, Kurtu, what's the math?
But that's what some of us can share a room, because I don't take a full room. I've got my spot here. I still have that luxury closet you've got, right?
Yes, of course. So far, nobody has deign to try to rent out the closet, so
Oh, that's
for
good. I'm
now,
glad
it's
you
still
kept
yours.
it for me. That's good. That's nice. Thank you.
Okay.
I work tonight too to help make up for that. So thank you.
That is good to hear. We had a cask spillage in the the cider down below where the cider is stored, so having somebody to assist cleaning up would be very helpful.
Love to. I'd love to. You've been so good to me.
Okay, we'll take 3 rooms.
3 rooms it is. That'll be 15 silver pieces.
So 2 gold. Here's 2 gold.
He accepts the 2 gold and says, would you like your change, or should I put the rest of this towards your food and drink that you may like tonight?
Yes, it's added to our tab, please. Thank you.
Certainly.
But not the cider. That's on Aramir's tab. I know it's complicated. I'm sorry, but
It's not a problem dividing up costs to different purchasers. No problem at all. But as far as the cider, how much are you looking for? Would you like a cask or just a few servings?
Just a few servings to start. I'm a lightweight.
After I clean it up, I can put some in a cup for you.
I'll just take a little Dixie cup.
Floor cider.
And it tastes like rag.
They come in pints. I'm having a whole one.
He sort of nods towards you and says, not a problem. I will make sure that for a few portions of cider are brought up, a few goblets, and I will make sure that Aomir is aware of this purchase. And you see he motions towards you, Aomir, to approach the counter as he kind of turns, speaks to this woman who nods and starts walking down to the cellar.
Okay, I don't want to monopolize all of this, but I'm going to go to my room then, and I'm going to use a level 1 spell slot to make an elixir of... actually, I have 2 left. I can make 2 elixirs of transformation. The drink, and then it's like the alter self spell. It lasts for 10 minutes. I'm going to use 2 spell slots. Can I make 2 elixirs? I think I can. I'll read it. So I'll go up and I'll read it and see if I can do that.
I was going to say, I thought the experimental, wasn't that like randomly determined when you made it?
That's when you make it after a long rest, but if I use a spell slot, I get to choose.
Oh, okay. There you go. That works.
I just want to see if I can make more than one. I think I can, because you could do it in combat. So.
All right. Well, while you're double checking those details, Kurtu heads down to the cellar to assist in cleaning. Rest of the team, is there anything in particular anybody would like to do other than settle in the inn here, drink and eat some food?
Did my spell finish outside, Adam?
Yes, it does indeed. So after 10 plus minutes, that will complete. Looking around you within 30 feet, you don't see anything that would trigger.
Yeah, I wanted to go back and speak to Barthen and just disguise me going back as trying to sell that shovel.
Okay, sure, yeah. So you make your way back to Barthen's. As you're passing through the town here, oddly enough, you notice that there are certain areas of the ground, like a bush here or there, or a clump of vegetation, that will suddenly trigger with this effect as you detect some type of poison or disease inside of it. I think it says you can identify, so I would say you identify this as disease. You don't recognize the specific disease, but it certainly seems associated with that greenish rain that had fallen down before and seemingly coated the ground and bubbled up, that sort of thing. As you pass by, head to Barthen's, and looking on him, he also looks to be diseased, as does the young man who is aiding him in the back.
Okay. I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna say anything, but I just confirmed my suspicions, so I'm gonna sell them the shovel and then just go back out and wait for, them to. I don't know what happened inside the inn, so I'm just waiting for them to come back. But after hearing what Finn said, I just wanted to be sure because I know it rained over here, so that confirms some suspicions.
Fair enough. So, yep, you make those those preparations, and yes, I would say around town you're noticing here or there different things that are affected. Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's vegetation, certainly triggering multiple different times with this effect. So, as most of the team's in the inn, and you guys are making some preparations there, we're about halfway through our session. So let's go ahead and pause and take our 15-minute break here, folks.
Cool. Dun, dun, dun.
See
Good stuff, everyone.
Alrighty, welcome to the second half of our Dragon of Icespire Peak session here. The group is currently back in Phandalin, actually in the Stonehill Inn for the most part, with one of our members outside of the inn due to some past information or bad experiences, perhaps. So we will pick up right there. So I guess we'll start with group that's currently in the Stonehill Inn. Anything in particular that you're doing?
Oh, and also there's a strange gentleman we haven't seen before that Finn isn't paying attention to because he's talking to Toblin.
Hey, Eomir, check that guy out over there. What do you think?
Whoa. And he kind of just shrugs. Amir's still quiet and in thought.
He looks very distinguished.
As some of you are looking towards the gentleman, this is what you see.
Geralt of after years. You guys want to go say hello? He seems interesting.
Looks like you should toss a coin to that Witcher.
I think we should say hello. He looks like he could be a good recruit or possibly offer us some wisdom.
Maybe he knows Cat, because he looks like he used to be a pirate too.
What makes you say that? I didn't know pirates had breastplates and capes.
Had a scar on his face. Pirates do that. Come on, I've seen them.
Well, if you're gonna talk to him, don't be shy. Go on up. He seems friendly enough, I think.
What's he doing right now? Is he just chilling, eating his soup?
Yep, eating soup. Yep, and just you see he's mostly focused on his soup bowl. You guys haven't been here long enough to kind of scope him out, see if he's doing anything else. So yeah, first impressions, just eating soup.
Is he like by himself? Just
Yes.
okay.
Adam, I'm going to go ahead and walk up to him, and I'm going to go ahead and interact.
Hi. My name's Kurtu. I work around here. I haven't seen you before. You haven't seen me. But I help clean up around here. So if you need anything, just let me know.
You see he sips at his soup for a moment, putting the ladle down, then he grabs at this cloth and wipes his beard. You can see little freckles of pieces like vegetable and chicken currently stuck there. He kind of just wipes them away. And then once he does so, he looks to you and says, I am all set with my food at the moment. I had no other needs from the wait staff of the inn here.
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem. I just wanted to introduce myself in case you do. You have a good meal. I don't bring the food. They prefer I don't do that. I'm not sure why, because I think sometimes it's tasty. But I do other work too. So, okay. Well, you have a good day. Bye.
And he inclines his head towards you and watches you in the group. You sort of notice him watch Kurtu as Kurtu is like scurrying off. Seems to linger his gaze there for a good 15 seconds or so before he picks his little soup spoon back up and returns eating his soup.
I'll go to the group and I'll say,
He was making a mess at his chin. I told him I'd clean up around here. I don't clean beards, though. I just don't do that.
Well, if he wasn't weirded out before, he is now.
He said he doesn't talk to the staff, so I think maybe he's a noble guy. He's kind of stuck up on himself.
Maybe he'd talk to a big old strong woman who walks up to him, though.
Let's go.
Take the measure. I'll follow close behind Bryn if she's going that way.
Big woman here.
Okay. As the two of you start approaching, are you just approaching like friendly? I assume no weapons in hand, nothing like that, or how are you approaching?
I'm gonna crack him on the back of the head. No, I'm just kidding.
Just friendly.
All right. So yeah, you notice similarly, he just kind of sets his soup spoon down here as he looks up towards you. Once again, just kind of wiping at his beard. Greetings. If you are here to take my... No, clearly you are not staff. Excuse my old eyes. What can I do for you?
Well, we noticed that you are a new face in town, and we were just out and had fought a dragon. And if you were also wandering outside of town, we'd like to know if you had any dragon sightings.
That's quite impressive if you have fought a dragon and lived to tell the tale. They are very fearsome beasts, to the best of my knowledge. I have been outside of town, but no, I have not seen any dragons, I'm afraid, my lady.
I like your armor, dude. It's super cool.
And you see he
What-
sort of leans back a bit, and you notice emblazoned on his chest piece here is a red stallion that looks very prominent, sort of rearing up. And you see he nods and he says, I thank you for noticing and admiring the heraldry.
Would I recognize this as a former noble of Waterdeep, or is this unfamiliar to me?
Give me a blind history check.
Oh, that's probably not gonna work. Where am I token?
On this one, it should be in the top right corner.
Ah, there I am.
Not at all. This is like foreign to you. You have no idea what this is.
Great. You look a fair bit fancier than most of the people who come through here. What's your story, friend? If you don't mind me asking.
Not at all. I'm always happy to share a tale with others. In fact, I am a procurer, you may say, of talented individuals. I am not from here. I come from actually a land quite far away from here, if I have my measurements correct. But my tale is that I have been sent looking for skilled and capable individuals who would be willing to take on certain tasks that are, well, quite dangerous, I must say, but that need to be done.
What kind of tasks? You mean like around here or back where you come from?
Back from my homeland. You see, I work for my lord, and most of the individuals in the land there, well, they are already pledged to one lord or another lord, and getting a good help is difficult to come by close to home. So he has sent me far and wide looking for skilled individuals who may be willing to aid in his struggles.
I look at Bryn and then back to him. Like, so what kind of struggles? Is this some kind of War of the Three Kingdoms shit, or what's going on over there?
Not quite that large of a scale, if I am to be honest, but as with all type of lords and their dealings, yes, there's quite a bit of back and forth and underhanded tactics, I am afraid to say. But in particular, there are a few different avenues that I'm currently recruiting for, you may say. The first is there is a very interesting location. You probably have never heard of it before. It's heaped in magic and myth and legend. It is said to be a structure that is truly endless. It continues to go further down and further down and further down, and nobody has yet to find the bottom. It is filled with dangers, traps, magics, and things that ought never see the light of day once again. My lord believes that there is a particular item that he is really hoping to procure from within inside, and he hopes to hire some individuals who would be interested in traversing into those dangerous areas to try to locate such an item.
Know anything about its purpose, or
Yes.
what's it supposed to do?
If you believe the myths, it is said to be a coffer that generates gold pieces inside of it. So magically creates money, you might say.
Oh, so it's like the Federal Reserve. I think I might have heard that.
I am
It
not
just
familiar
makes money,
with
huh?
this term, but yes, if it is similar, then that is indeed, yes.
Isn't he worried about like inflation running away or something like that?
Well, in my land, unfortunately, gold is power, and those without gold have no power. He has struggled recently keeping his lands well maintained and fortified from enemies, both abroad and domestic.
Yeah, unlimited money would do a lot to fix that problem.
Well,
I
that is
suppose.
true, though the legends don't say it is unlimited money. It is something along the lines of you put gold pieces in it, and after a period of time, there are more in it than what you put in. It seems to have some type of magical duplication effect, I suppose.
Weird. So like a breeding circuit, but for money, huh? You know, if you double something every day, you can get a lot of shit from that real
You
quick.
could. That is true, though I do not believe that it works every day. Of course, this is all conjecture, for this is, again, heaped very much on myth and legend. I must say, you two of you do not look like locals. You look to be much more equipped for such dangerous times. I don't suppose you all are interested in such pursuits?
We got some buddies we could discuss it with.
Yes, we would have to ask the rest of our party, but this does sound like it would be commensurate with the skills we possess.
Wow, Bryn, that's a big word for you. I'm impressed. Good job.
I'm picking up your strange language rather quickly.
It would be a very difficult endeavor, I must be honest. But yes, speak with your friends. If it is something they are willing to do, one of the positives of this is that there is not necessarily a strict time crunch. Of course, my lord would like to have this item as soon as possible, but it is not as though it is imminent death if we do not have it, so we are flexible on that avenue. As far as the dangers within, as I mentioned, it is something that you would want to make sure your entire team is suitable for and willing to undertake. You won't find much in the way of discussing plans with one another, or diplomacy, or using your charismatic abilities, I might say, to try to get your way. It's going to be a lot of old-fashioned brute force, and a lot of battles, and a lot of struggles. If that sounds like it is something that you all would be interested in, I would be more than happy to hire you.
It's like that, no interview process, no background checks. I mean, Bryn and I, that sounds like right up our alley. But yeah, we'd have to talk with our buddies.
And you notice he sort of chuckles for a moment as he slides the soup spoon just a little bit further away from this bowl. No interviews. Well, the truth of the matter is, if you fail, when you head in, we won't ever have to pay you, for you will not survive. So if you think you are skilled and talented enough, we are desperate enough to take anybody. And how would we know exactly what level of skill you would need? What is inside this location is, again, shrouded in mystery.
We'll reconvene. Good talking to you, buddy. What's your name, pal? In case we need to find you again.
Yes, my name is Marlon St. Reed.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. I am Brian. And this is Josephine.
It is nice
I give
to
him a
meet
little
both of
curtsy.
you. And you notice he smiles and says, "My, I am not used to such manners since I've left home. Most of the people in this land seem to be much more, well,
Backwards
less
hicks."
courteous." And you see he chuckles slightly. Perhaps not the term I would use, but you understand the sentiment, yes. And you see he stands here and he gives you like a lordly type of bow.
It seems nice. Let's go talk to our friends.
Yes, I find this very interesting.
I'll come down from my room now with shaking a vial, looking at it. Oh, okay, all right. I come down, back, step up on the stool, my feet dangling, and sip my cider.
Hey guys, so check out this shit. I assume we're a fair distance away from him. Is he still watching us, or have we moved on to like?
Yeah, I imagine you guys are sort of at the main counter and he's at this booth off to the side. He's gone back to his soup at this point.
But listen, that guy over there, he says back where he comes from, way far out to... I've already forgotten. It doesn't matter. There's a big, deep dungeon down there that has an infinite money-making machine. And he wants it for his lord, but I mean, if we get it for him, he'd owe us a pretty big favor, you know?
No pay.
What about the orcs we're supposed to kill? I'm protecting Fandolin.
I mean, sure, but infinite money, you guys.
We just protected Fandolin from the dragon. That part is done.
Also, he said it wasn't urgent, so if you want to go smack some orcs around, and then we can head off for parts unknown, have ourselves a nice little adventure, you know. Sounds like an interesting hook that we could follow. Get out of this neck of the woods, you know?
I'd be interested, yes.
I think it sounds great. But first, I mean, that dragon could have treasure too. And to be honest with you, I don't mean to sound rude to a nice, dragon, right? But I think he's hurting now, and I think we should go over there and, well, make sure he doesn't come back to Finland, if you know what I mean.
I actually also agree with Kertu. On one hand, this job does sound like fun. However, this dragon does need to die. As soon as possible.
Aren't the biggest threat now the orcs?
I think so. I think maybe we should prioritize. You know, maybe we do what we can to help out with the orcs, and then we go take care of a dragon. I mean, the sky's the limit. And yeah.
What's in this dungeon? Do you know?
You said it was deep and dark. No one knows how far down it goes. Lots of nasty shit. No one to talk to. No one to fucking parlay with. Sounds great. Knock some skulls around.
That's it, huh? Just go, trash the place, and find a well.
I'm like that.
It sounds.
I wonder if
nice.
it's a one-way trip, you know? It sounds like... Because it sounded like if we, he'll take anybody, but if you don't come out, you don't come out, and you don't get paid. So I wonder if there's a way out before you get to the end. We could take it piecemeal if we had to. Or if we're in for a penny, in for a pound, so to speak.
That sounds like an October problem to me.
Oh. I got it.
Yeah, I was waiting. It's not gonna be this session.
Right.
I don't know. It sounds like we could clear it out in an hour. I don't know. It's okay.
Is there food here?
I'm assuming you guys have requested probably some odds and ends, so yes, based on the price that has already been handed over, you'll see some stewed lamb and buckwheat bread, some stewed mutton and dried leeks, some barley bread and blue cheese, and some roasted chicken and bitter cheese.
Alright, I'm gonna take one of my cloths out. I'm gonna wrap up the chicken, and some bread, and a Dixie cup full of cider, and I'm gonna say, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some fresh air, and I'm gonna go give some food to Gore.
All right, you make your way out of the inn and head over to the shrine. Gore, have you returned to the shrine where you left them?
It really depends on how long it's been with them inside, because that spell lasts 10 minutes, so I would want to, I'd be making small laps. I probably would have left Barthen's and gone to the Coster to check on any of them and make sure none of them were diseased as well. And so I probably wouldn't have gone directly back to the shrine, but I don't know timing-wise where we're at.
Sure, yep, fair enough. So for ease of play, I will say that you've kind of walked around town here a bit with the benefits of this spell, looking around to see what you can find. Nobody in the Lion Shield Coster seems to be sick, but you do notice random citizens, the villagers here of Phandalin. Occasionally you'll see one or two. You hear talk as you're moving around town of people saying that their family member is ill inside. You're getting sort of the general sentiment that this seems to be sporadically affected in Phandalin. So a decent number of people seem to be sick right now, but it's one here, one there, one here, one there kind of thing. So maybe even the folks themselves haven't necessarily determined that there is a pattern.
Okay, but I'm starting to piece things together myself, seeing how many people are affected, knowing about the rain. I detected it back then as well, so I think I'd have a good idea. Could I hawk some stuff while I was at the Coster? Was that possible as well? And maybe that's where Finn will see me emerging from?
Hawk meaning sell?
Yes.
Yeah, you can sell at half price.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna sell those hand crossbows I got for half price. Those are
Okay.
70. What's half of 75, guys?
37 and a half.
37. So 37 times 4 is 150.
Yep, hand crossbows are pretty pricey. So yeah, as you sell those to the Lion Shield Coster and they hand over the gold pieces and take those from you as you exit, yep, we'll assume that that is when Finn spots you as he's sort of standing in front of the shrine.
Perfect. So I'll walk over to Finn and I'll lean down and say, does Finn trigger? Is Finn diseased?
Finn, I don't believe you're currently affected by any disease that you know of, right?
That's correct.
No, I didn't catch it. I wouldn't catch anything on my detect either, huh? Okay, good. I would say, like a third of this town is diseased with that rain, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's bad. I brought chicken, and here's some bread. And here's some cider. Don't drink it all at once. It's pretty strong.
I guess I can't stay in the inn, huh?
No. I got it figured out. Come here. Lower. Okay. See this vial? It's black. It looks disgusting. It smells gross. But I've never made it before. But if you have to think about, it'll change what you look like. You think about it, then drink it, and your body will transform into something other than orc. I mean, I like you, but then you could stay at the inn. It only lasts 10 minutes. So, and don't let anyone watch you drink it. And there's all but here, you should have it.
So I just drink this and then go up to my room. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And then you walk in normally. Don't say anything. Don't look suspicious. Don't make eye contact with anybody. Just go up to your room. It's the second door on the right is where I'm staying. Second door on the right, and I will bring food up and everything, and you can get a rest, and you could cure everybody in the morning. Okay. Here's some chicken.
Thanks, Finn. Could you let Toblin know that I think I might be able to help a few people. I don't know, but I can try in the morning. If anyone is truly like near death, can you get their name for me?
Oh, yeah, Toblin might know that. Okay. So, what are you gonna stay here, or what are you gonna do?
I was just reading that message that Adam sent. I'm done with everything I need, so I'll say, I guess I'll just try to like drink it in an alleyway and make my way up to my room. I mean, I don't really need anything.
Okay, so you'll be fine here then. And they're talking to some stranger inside, but when we get in the room, we could all talk together.
Okay. Yeah. I'll make my way inside shortly then.
Okay, I'll be inside. Okay? You gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Bye.
I imagine like when he leaves, I've got like my hands. He brought me like chicken and stew and bread and I only got 2 hands, so.
And you have a Dixie cup of cider.
And then like a little vial of liquid that I'm like trying to hold by the cork in my mouth. I guess. And then I'm just gonna kind of like awkwardly walk away at him and see if I can find any kind of like alleyway in between a couple of houses and anything like that.
Yeah, it's not too difficult to find somewhere in Phandalin that's sort of out of the way. Even at the shrine, you didn't necessarily see any eyes on you. So, yep, you move around, do what you can to try to find yourself an area that's, sort of out of the way. Go ahead and throw me a D20 here, please.
Sure. I don't know how it works. He said I got to think about it, so I'll think about my soon-to-be wife's father, who's human. He's got like dark hair. He's all rugged.
All right, and can you post, Finn, the specifics of this effect?
It says the alter self spell.
Alter self, okay.
And I could put it in the compendium, or maybe you could look it up quicker because you're faster.
I certainly can, and there's no limitations. It just says alter self.
Yep, you see it says the drinker's body is transformed as if by alter self spell. The drinker determines the transformation caused by the spell, the effects of which last for 10 minutes, period. I'm even reading like a little kid, period.
All right, so yeah, feel free to pull up Alter Self here, Gorlami. It sounds like you get to pick the effect, so take a read and let me know which version of this you would like.
Yeah, I was reading it. I see the second one is change appearance, and it says you can make yourself appear as a member of another race. So I'll go for human. I can't change my size or anything. So I'll just focus on changing my race from orc to human, and I'll just be very tall and big, and um, I'll have like black hair. And um, I think that's about it. Yeah, I can change height, weight, facial features. You can make yourself appear as a member of another race. Yeah, so I'm just gonna, look like a human. I don't know if it would, get rid of my tattoos or anything, because those are like part of who I am, or part of my divine cleric abilities. So they would probably still stay. So that'd probably be the only really defining feature that you would know as Gorlami. And he keeps his like shaggy hair in his face, and he's just gonna walk in the inn and just walk up the steps and try to be casual.
Okay, fair enough. So you drink this, you become you look more like a human. I'm getting a very Shrek vibe here when he turns from ogre into human, right? But yeah, you make your way into the Stonehill Inn there, and you notice your companions, I imagine, are still around the main counter where Toblin is standing behind and taking care of the day-to-day tasks of the inn here. So as you enter, obviously nobody knows what you look like. Is it your intent to just pass by them and go to the room that Finn explained to you?
Yeah, I told him I would be in there in a few minutes. Finn said second door on the right. That's where he's staying, so I'm just going to make my way right up there. I assume that they will probably come check on me in a minute.
Okay, so as you pass by, you do notice Toblin kind of glances at you as you're moving by, but doesn't say anything, just kind of continues wiping down the counter. You pass up, and yeah, you make your way into that room. So while you're up there by yourself, just kind of, probably unwinding, that sort of thing, rest of the team in the common room, anything in particular you're doing?
Deciding on the plan, right? We're gonna stick around in Phandalin, help him out for a while, and then maybe take this up
Hey, psst,
after.
that guy
What?
just walked in. That's Gore. Doesn't he look cool?
Which
Yeah,
guy?
That guy just walked the stairs. That's Gore. I made it a thing. I made him change his appearance. It's really cool. Okay, shh, don't make eye contact. But we could talk up there. Would you want to just get our food and go upstairs?
Yeah, let's do it. I think we all want to be a part of this discussion anyhow.
Yes.
Okay, everything we have and go upstairs.
All right, so I imagine you guys have arms full of food and drinks and stuff like that as you make your way upstairs, and everybody's going to pile into this second room. It'll be a little bit tight, but you guys can all fit standing room.
So I will relay to anyone who wasn't privy to that conversation, I assume Gore and whoever else wasn't around, the details that we gleaned from Marlon. Is that his name?
Yes, Marlon St. Reed.
Hell yeah. I remember things.
Nailed it.
I'm gonna just like look up at him and shake my head and say, well, while you were in here, I cast a spell to detect poisons and diseases like I did before. And, well, there's a lot of the shrubs and plants, they're full of this disease. And Barthen and his son, they're both afflicted. And I'd say, I don't know, maybe a third, maybe a little less of the whole town has this affliction right now. And right now it may seem just like a cold, but who knows in a couple of days?
How did we beat it?
Who knows?
Maybe it's in their drinking water.
Or food.
That's a good theory there. Yeah, or food.
Oh shit, we just ate a bunch of their food. You think we're gonna be safe here, or do we maybe wanna hit the road?
Well, I think the water may be a safer bet because you cook the food, so like Finn says, yeah, it will burn away a lot of pathogens. I don't know for fiend poison, but we can't just let half the city die.
Or worse, What do you propose we do?
Well, for me to be able to heal some of them, I think I need to gain more favor. Maybe those orcs. If we could take those out, I think it will make us look favorable. And then I can try to heal some. I wanted to go to Barthen's in the morning and see if maybe I could try it out on him. And if it worked, I would know I could heal a lot of people.
Sure. Remember, some of us are still feeling a little ratty, though, so...
I have plenty of magic for that and to restore them in a lesser nature.
Okay.
Different level magic.
Yeah, it's beyond me, my dude, but whatever you think you have to do, go for it.
I'm with you guys. So, I mean, if we vote to move on, then we vote to move on, but I see in Eomir's eyes that he wants to kill that dragon.
I feel like we're not going anywhere anytime soon, so it's probably in our best interest to take care of the town while we're here, even if they are a bunch of racists.
Yeah, I totally agree. We should help these guys. And I'm concerned about the poison in the water. Maybe I can come up with something in the morning after a long rest. Kind of help purify
Maybe
water.
test the
food, and
water to
drink.
see if it is in the water and let them know. Who knows?
Well, at least
I'm just saying maybe it's in the water, right? I don't know this thing.
Well, I could come up with something to purify food and water for us, at least. Maybe I could come up with something.
Well, my concern is that right now it's a disease. It's not a sickness that will just pass. At least, not of my knowledge. I mean, most diseases linger until cured.
Right, but if it is in the water and you cure them with all that, after you make sure I don't turn into a rat person, right? And then you cure them, and then they drink the water again, and then they're back to getting poisoned again or diseased again. This could be bad.
Well, I still have the ability to detect the poison and diseases. So if we know where their main water source is, I can see if it's afflicted. And if so, then
I think that's a good idea.
Finn can purify it. Also, gain us favor. Oh, here, and I plop a big bag of coin. I sold some stuff we got in the mine. It's 150 pieces.
Holy shit!
Yeah, right. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us. I'm not good at math. Finn, you got that abacus?
Yeah, I got an abacus. It's in my pouch. Let me get it real quick. Okay, let's see. 150 divided by 6 equals 25. Wait, really? Yeah. Yep, that's right.
And you keep excluding your mom from these calculations.
It's not my mom. She just acts like it. Dude, we can give her like 5 gold.
I think she deserves more than that. I mean,
Yeah, I'll give
What
her
do you
some.
think, Miza, who is in this room with us at the moment?
I was just gonna ask. Do you guys imagine she's here with you at the moment, or?
I don't.
Oh, why wouldn't she be?
Yeah, why wouldn't? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's 22 pieces each if we just go together,
Yeah.
correct? So let's
Okay.
just do it.
Yeah, she gets a cut.
Okay, so I'll deduct the full 150 from my sheet and everybody can add 22 to their sheet.
What about Bando?
Your bird does not spend coin,
All he wants is a cracker.
and he's a magic bird. If I beat him with my hammer, you could call him back in the morning, right?
Yeah, potentially.
See?
I dangle a cracker for Bando. Here, want a cracker? Right here.
Like a parrot.
yeah.
And Polly want a cracker.
A hawk eat a cracker?
Eat a
So,
You tell me, Eomir. What's your bird eat? I want explicit details.
He eats whatever I eat. He helps
What do
me
you
out.
eat?
Whatever I can get my hands on.
What if that is bird? Do you give your bird?
Hawks eat birds.
Not.
I heard the bird is the word. Didn't land. Nobody.
I was
Adam.
totally laughing.
I just felt pain.
Yeah, do you want us to roll like 1d4 psychic damage?
Yeah.
Look, guys,
Wit
I'm a
landed.
dad. I can make dad jokes, okay? I'm a dad. So do we want to go to the well first? Clear out the orcs, kill the dragon?
So what's your take on the orcs again? You said you might have a plan or something?
Yeah. Now look at Kurtu. Boom.
Yeah, but
I like it. But I don't know. I mean, I hear there's hundreds of them. They'd have to really get into. They'd have to get into a big circle.
You said dozens last time. Reggie wrote it in his journal, and now it's hundreds.
It could be. I don't know. I mean, I don't. I heard there's hundreds now. I could be wrong, but I think so.
Well, we've already killed a good amount at the manse, and I think it's manageable. We slip in at night and take them out.
well, where are they? I don't remember. Sorry.
I'm gonna pull out the journal and show everybody. I'm kind of fuzzy with the details myself, Adam, but I do remember it's like the were-rat said something about they were pushed away from their last home, which was like a shrine outside of, was it the ranch or was it Connerberry? I can't remember now.
Yes, that is approximately accurate. Yes.
So there's your approximation, guys. Because Gorlami doesn't I don't think anyone's been to the shrine. I don't think we haven't seen it or anything, so we haven't gone that far down the trade road either. Because last time we just went up into the woods, so.
Well, if we're going all the way out to Coneyberry, that's like a multi-day journey. How long ago was the rain? Like 2 days? If it's already afflicted a third of the town, I mean, maybe we want to see what we can do around here first. Because if we leave and come back, we leave, do the orc thing, come back, and the whole town's turned into demons or whatever, that's not going to be good for our long-term ventures here.
No, I agree.
Do we know
Yeah,
where
let's-
it even is?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Elf.
Do we know where this cave is? This dungeon?
You mean the one that the old guy told us about?
Aye.
He said it was back where he came from, which is long way away. So if we go there, we're not coming back to Phandalin for a while.
I think what the plan should be to protect the Phandaliers here is we kill the dragon. Well, cure whatever ails them. Kill the dragon, and see if your friend Marlin is still here.
He said it wasn't urgent. We could chill for a while, so yeah, we can do what you want to do with these people here, and then have a gig lined up. I don't know how much adventuring you guys have done, but it is a gig economy, so you probably want some jobs lined up for us in the future. Sure sounds like it might be the next leg of the adventure, so to speak, after we're done around here.
So it sounds like we all agree to help the city, but are we going with the orcs or the dragon afterwards?
Well, yeah, first let's test the water. That's the easy thing. We could do that tonight.
I feel like the orcs are the more immediate concern. We just kicked the dragon's ass. He's probably not going to come around here for a while. He's scared of us, I think.
What the odd thing is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, would Aomir have read Reggie's journal?
I don't know. Would you like him to have had done so?
Yeah, I think it'd be a good choice to say yes.
Then yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, I don't think Reggie was particularly secretive, right? It's not like he was hiding his journal from anybody, right?
No, I mean he was. I mean, pretty much constantly writing when Reggie was, and then you guys see whenever Gorlami gets a chance, like when we're settled down and like resting, Gorlami will pull it out and just catch up.
So yeah, unless anybody objects, I don't see any reason why Aomir could not have read it.
Okay.
I do. He can't read. There's no pictures. I looked.
No pictures. I like it. So Aomir's gonna kind of, well, from what I've read from the journal entries here, it seems as if this dragon is always coming back, coming and going. Once you strike it once, I suppose it runs away. I think if we pin it down in wherever its quarters are, we'd be able to finish it off, finish the job, stop it from invading Phandalin anymore.
Go ahead, Finn.
Well, I'm just saying, like the dragon is what's making everything weird. But the immediate threat are the orcs being dispersed from their lands because of the dragon. And I just think they're gonna just attack Vandalin before we kill the dragon.
Maybe if the orcs were displaced by the dragon, they might know more exactly where he is. So we kill a bunch of them, we take one hostage, we ask him what he knows, where he's from. Maybe save ourselves a couple of days of wandering around in the fucking snow and ice up there. What do you want, Kurtu?
Oh, thank you. I wanted to be acknowledged. So I think first, I mean, maybe if we go and kill a lot of the orcs, maybe the others will leave, of course. That would be good. But I think one problem that we just need to know that is out there, I mean, I hate to sound like the smartest one in the room, but it happens sometimes, is that the dragon can't cause acid rain, and the dragon just casts some odd spells. So I think we're fighting more than we know right now. I mean, that can't, change our direct. I mean, we got to go with what we know, but there's a lot of unknown now.
I agree. But one thing we do know, I know for sure, is that a lot of people in this town are sick. And if we can help them, we should. It's the right thing to do.
Let's cast. You go cast that spell tonight.
I can't leave the room, Kurtu. If I leave the room, I get kicked out.
But you look like you're a human.
For 10 minutes.
We could go get some water straight from the well and bring it to you. I mean, this is not that hard.
That works, yeah.
I would let him test it, but if we're trying to purify it, then...
We gotta take one step at a time.
So I'm still working on it. So Finn is huddled over the desk or whatever, and he's fidgeting with his alchemical supplies and all his kits. He's like, I don't know, maybe I could come up with something in the morning.
Okay, so since we're not going anywhere tonight, why don't those of us who can leave go find out where the town's main water supply is? We bring a sample back. The spellcasters do their funky hand-waving shit. I don't know. We take a good long rest up here. Hope we don't get sick being surrounded by all these fucking plague victims. And then in the morning we decide what to do. Also, we should probably tell Marlin what's going on. So he doesn't...
And it's not hand-waving. It's called science.
Sure. Whatever makes you feel better about yourself.
I put my goggles back on and go back to work.
I put my goggles back on. Just to mirror him. Yeah, I got these too.
Okay, well, go find some water. I'll be here.
I'll go with and talk to Marlin as well. I'd prefer to look for the gold chest, but whatever.
Alright, so Bryn and I, since we talked to him, I guess we're going down to talk to Marlin. And then if anyone else would like to go on their adventure, find out where the water supply is, and work on that while we're.
I will.
Yeah, I'll help Kurt too.
I guess I'll stay with Gore. I don't want to leave anyone.
So we're gonna
behind
split the
alone.
party, and then the dragon's gonna come back and
Yeah.
kill us 2 by 2.
So, Adam, what time of day is it?
At this point, you'd be closer towards like 5 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's see. So we've got both Josephine and Bryn that want to head back downstairs from this room to the main lobby of the inn, or the main common room, and speak to Marlon again.
Yep.
Yes.
We maybe don't have to roleplay this out. We just want to tell them that, hey, so we talked about it, and our friends kind of want to help out around the town a little more, make sure things are squared away here, and then maybe we can go off on our grand adventure with you afterwards. Might be, like, I don't know, a week or 2.
He seems to be completely fine with that, and you notice that after sort of thinking about it for a moment, he hands you a silver coin here, Josephine, and he lets you know that in case he's not right around when you are ready essentially to go, press this coin really hard into the ground and then just think of his name in your head, and that will, he says, alert him and allow him to know you're ready to go.
Okay, for Jordan's benefit, can I write down his name?
You sure can.
Marlon St. Reed?
Yes, and there's also a handout for you in the handout section that shows his picture and his name, so you can refer to that at any time.
Okay. Then I won't write it down. But I'll remember. Josephine will remember, Jordan probably won't.
Fair enough. Okay, and Bryn, was there anything in that exchange that you wanted to discuss or let him know?
Just that I would rather have done his thing first, but such is the party will.
We got overruled. We like to crack skulls. The boys are a little more pragmatic.
He seems to be particularly, he's not joyful, but he's happy that you're interested in this, and he says, essentially take your time. He's, happy that you're interested at all, and he looks forward to when you're available.
We'll be in touch.
Alrighty, so with that completed, then Kurtu, you wanted to head outside and find some water and try to bring it back to Gorlami?
Yeah, I'll ask Tomlin where the drinking well is, and
We've got to test the water. People are getting sick around here. We got to make sure they didn't drink the green water.
Yeah, I do agree. I think the town master has been more than or less than useless for us. Perhaps we ask Toblin where the water treatment area is.
So it sounds like the two of you would like to head down to the common room and strike up a conversation with Toblin?
yep.
Okay, and in essence, again, of just trying to speed this part along a little bit, once you make your way to Toblin, he will let you know that there is a sort of town well that's set in the town green. So if you want to head there, there's, obviously like a bucket. There's something that you can lower down to pull up buckets full of water as needed. He, lets you know that that's the main place that people get their water from. But of course, some people have, maybe slightly different setups. But 99% of the town uses that well.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll ask him for a bowl or something that I can just put some water in, to get tested. So.
Yep, yeah, he's happy to give you. There's an actual term for that, but I forget what it is. But yeah, he gives you the bowl. I don't think that's what it is. But,
I'm just
but that is what he gives you. Maybe pail is what I'm thinking of. But yeah, he'll give you a pail then to head out and actually get some water from the well.
Okay, so I think we should bring Gorlami with us as well.
We can't.
I thought he had that illusion on him.
For 10 minutes.
Only for 10 minutes. I was role playing that because my guy wouldn't have known it would have only been for 10 minutes. So
I assumed that it would have dropped during our conversation because we were up there a while.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assumption with eating, drinking, and chatting. Yeah.
Okay. So we got a pail, and so we're gonna go down there. Can we bring some back to Gorlami?
You sure could, yeah.
Okay, I think that sounds like a plan. So we go up to that well, grab a little bit of water, bring some back to Gorlami.
Okay, fair enough. So you make your way out of the Stonehill Inn, head over to the town green. It's not difficult to find the well. You can notice some people are dipping into that using their own pails, getting some water out, and you eventually wait your turn. It takes maybe 5 minutes or so. Step up, fill up a pail full of water from the well. By just a glance, doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. It's very cold water, and you make your way back to the Stonehill Inn with that. Take it upstairs. I presume at this time, Gorlami, you're going to once again ritual cast this spell?
Yep, ritually cast detect poison and disease.
Okay, so after the 10-ish or so minutes of you casting the spell, the water in the pail does not detect as being poisoned or diseased.
Is anybody in the room, Kurtu, Finn, Eomir, or myself?
Nobody detects as poisoned or diseased.
So,
That's good news.
it is. It is. That
Can you
means-
test Bryn too? Is it
Yeah.
Bryn in the room as well?
I didn't know if Bryn and Josephine were back in the room or not, but if they are, I'll look at everybody and make sure.
By the time they got to the well, Druid came back and cast the ritual spell. We probably would have been back. It doesn't seem like it would have been a very long conversation with the guy.
Nope, yeah, I agree. So I would assume you'd have a time with this period of time of the concentration up to 10 minutes to touch everybody with the spell, and yeah, nobody is affected by poison or disease.
What about
Very
the
good, friend.
food?
The food up here in this room does not seem to be poisoned or diseased.
We're good for now. Maybe just check in the morning if it doesn't cost you anything, and just to make sure it's not like a late onset kind of thing.
Well, it ended on me. I mean, after a little while, I shook it off, so maybe.
Maybe, but maybe they didn't shake it off, you know?
Oh, I see that. I'm just saying that maybe it's not too bad. I mean, there's a lot of people here. I don't know how many spells you. I mean, if you can, I mean, maybe you can cast heal like the size of a fireball and everything, buddy. That's inside of that, you know. Yeah.
No, I can't do that. But in the morning, if maybe we could go to Barthen's. If he's still sick, I think we can convince him to let me try to heal him. I have an idea.
Okay.
And if it works, then we know.
We might want to ask him more about what he was doing and how long ago he fell sick. That might give us a clue as to how this happened and where the cause is. Because if we're just treating symptoms, we could be treating symptoms forever. We gotta root out the main cause here.
Glad to know it's not the water. That would have been disconcerting. I'm going to go to sleep, though. I am tired as shit.
Yeah, let's reconvene in the morning.
Yes, I could use a nice long rest as well.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds like everybody's intention here then is to get a long rest here in the inn. So each of you have 3 rooms, so even if 3 of you apiece, 2 rooms. Exactly who's in which rooms isn't particularly important at this moment, but we will assume you guys are able to get in this long rest. I'll apply that now, but I would like everybody to throw me a wisdom saving throw. You can throw this publicly.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
Is this hero pointable or no?
I would say no on this, because this is not necessarily something that you know that you're doing.
Nope.
Can I do my inspiration from my roll, Adam?
Yeah, you could.
And this is not a magical effect, right?
I can't tell you, but I do see that you posted that, so if it is, I will take that into effect.
Oh god.
Looks like everyone failed. Oh, Kurtu.
Yeah, he said wisdom.
Bryn looks okay.
Yeah, Bren.
Okay, fair enough. So each of you guys wakes up in your respective rooms that you had slept in the night before. Find yourself feeling quite refreshed, aka you have benefited from a long rest here. And yeah, it is early in the morning, maybe 8 a.m. or so, as you first start to rise.
And the first thing I do is start tinkering around with my alchemist tools. And Adam, I did switch a spell in that long rest,
Okay.
just to let you know. And the elixir I built is rolled there, and I'll put it in my character sheet. And since we're stuck in the room, I'm going to do a spell slot to make the disguise, the altar self elixir as well. So there's burning one spell slot for that, so he can get out, and I'll give it to Gore. Here, I got a little quicker with it. This it's not gonna taste any better, but it's definitely gonna work.
Thank you.
Yeah, and since I don't trust, I guess, the food, I'm gonna gather everyone around, hold my kind of like, guys, we need to, breakfast, that kind of thing. We need to eat, but I don't trust the food around this area.
That's okay. Do you have a plan?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna kind of give him a little chuckle, and I'm gonna hold my hand out, kind of like a bowl, and I'm gonna cast a spell. And how many people do we got? We got 7 people. Yeah, 7 people. 7 little berries are gonna kind of bowl, or kind of appear in my hand. One berry a day.
Fancy.
This
Say
it?
2.
This is
That's
it.
it.
I'm supposed to eat this.
Just one.
Where's the
want me-
bacon?
You won't be hungry for the rest of the day.
I'm supposed to eat this. Where's the bacon? Where's the sourdough bread? Where's the hollandaise sauce?
Yeah, I'm kind of used to Finn's presentation, honestly.
I don't get us wrong. It's a good-looking berry. Yeah.
Well, as long as
Delicious.
understand that the food here might be poisoned.
We checked it and it wasn't, but sure.
I just devised.
Just to make you feel useful, I will eat your berry.
Yeah, I'll eat
You want
it.
us to do it now, or do we want to wait until later?
Whenever you're hungry.
I'll save mine for later.
You've got
Yes.
24 hours to eat it.
That's wonderful.
Thanks, Eomir. It's nice. I put it in my pocket.
It almost tastes really almost as good as eggs raw, Almost.
I'll eat the berry.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat the berry too.
All right, fair enough. If you eat the berry, it does exactly what it says it does. So you all have your full HP, so the 1 HP won't do much for you here. But yeah, it's strange how eating this berry seems to fill you up. Not to the point where you're bloated or anything along those lines, just you don't feel hungry at all. It's as though this little tiny berry somehow just gives you that full feeling. You're not hungry for a full day.
Adam, before I leave the room and drink that concoction, can I ritually cast Detect Poison and Disease again? And I figure, it's morning time. We might have some new patrons inside the establishment. And then I don't think I got to look at Toblin either, because I just went right up to my room. So I'd like to, in my illusioned form, just kind of do a quick little run around the tavern before exiting. So ritual cast Detect Poison, drink the potion, go down, see if anybody triggers, and then leave.
Okay, so, because Alter Self, is that concentration? And then I guess we'd have to check the wording to say, does it say like you cast the spell?
I'll
when
read
you
it. It
drink
says,
this?
the drinker's body is transformed as if by the... It's like as if I did it to him or something like that. So he's not really concentrating on it, I don't think. I'll read it again. I'll just post it here. We can cut. Oh, shoot. I
Hey.
published it.
Without reading his, I feel like a potion effect would not.
A typical potion, I would agree, would not require concentration, but sometimes these skill special abilities are worded a little bit weird.
So it's the last one, last paragraph there.
It's kind of nebulous to me because the drinker does determine the transformation, so that kind of does suggest that something is going into it from the person who drank it.
But I used the spell slot for it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say concentration. It just says as if. So, yeah, I'm going to go with, no concentration on this. Okay, so that will work then. So, Gorlami, if you're drinking the elixir and that changes your body, then you spend your 10 plus minutes.
Opposite. Do the ritual first, then drink the elixir.
Ritual first and then drink. Okay, makes sense. So, you do the ritual first. You're now concentrating on that for up to 10 minutes. Then you drink the potion, which transforms you to look like a human again. During this time, is there anything in particular anybody else is doing other than just essentially preparing?
Yeah, I'm going to go downstairs and ask Toblin if I can get in the kitchen. Maybe I'll cook a few orders for him, but I'd like to see if I can cook up my sizzling beef since I have a pound of beef and try not to clear the place out again.
I was going to say, you
And then-
notice as you approach him and ask this, he kind of does that like wince, and he says, perhaps this morning is not the best time to be cooking anything experimental.
Okay. Well, can I just make my treats real quick? My 3 treats I get, and I do want to make. No, and that's it. I'll make myself breakfast too.
Give me a blind persuasion check as you try to convince Toblin that you're not going to do anything that's going to clear the place out. And you see he kind of looks at you for a moment and says, I suppose if you're sticking to established recipes and no risk of anything strange odors, then yes.
Okay. And I'm going to make myself. I'm going to cook a few meals that orders that come through, whatever, as help. And then I'm going to cook myself a dish. And then can I go upstairs and ritually cast purify food and drink and before I eat it?
Sure, yeah, as long as you have that. I always forget with artificers, do you have to have that one prepared in order to ritual cast?
I do. I dropped identify and picked up purify food and drink, both rituals and both level 1.
Okay, perfect. Then yeah, that'll work.
So what he does is he has either a pill, so he'll put a little pill in the water to drink, and then he'll crush one and sprinkle it on the food and see it, then purify it before he eats it.
Okay, yeah, I would say, just cooking regularly. You're not trying to do anything like make a masterpiece meal here or whatever. I mean, the food's good.
Sorry, I have to eat food. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Although I still have my good berry, and I'll come down after that and meet up with the group.
All right, so trying to just make sure that we're using our time well here. Is there anything in particular anybody wants to do in town before exiting? My assumption here, if I understood you guys' plan correctly, is you're going to look around. Gorlami wants to scan the town, looking for anybody that's newly poisoned or diseased. And then is it your intention to start making your way out to where you believe this shrine is?
I want to cast a spell on Barthen if I can. And I just want to check inside of the tavern. I guess the spell would still linger even as I left the tavern. But I would know because I cast a spell right around when I drink the potion that they're about the same. So when I feel like my effect from my spell is wearing off, I'm going to find a dark corner to transform back into an orc so I don't spook anybody. Okay,
fair enough. So you make your way out of the Stonehill Inn then, Gorlami. You head over to Barthen's Provisions. Barthen is actually not there today. You notice that the one lad who is not sick seems to be running the whole place himself, and he is a bit flustered here, though there's not really a whole lot of customers this early in the morning, like maybe one guy's in there, but even the couple of questions that get kind of thrown his way, you see him be like, I don't know if we have that in stock or not. Just like kind of all up there and not sure what to do, but yeah, you don't see that that Barthen himself is there or the other kid.
Is it like connected to like a house or anything?
It is not.
I'm gonna walk up to the kid then.
Yep, and you see him kind of moving back and forth and checking different things and sliding stuff across the counter, and he looks up and says, "Oh, I didn't see you there. Well, what do you need?"
I need nothing, actually. I was looking for Barthen. I saw he was sick yesterday. I'm a cleric. Wanted to render some services. Is he okay?
A cleric? Oh, I didn't know there were any traveling clerics in town right now.
Yeah, me.
Well, actually, he's not feeling very well right now. You could check in his home. He's just next door.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
for the benefit of the rest of the players, anybody watching along, I'll take us out to the town map. So obviously you're over here in Barthen's Provisions while having this conversation, and the young man tells you that Barthen lives in the house next door, which is over here.
Okay, so as I leave, I'm gonna kind of like look at everybody and say, he's sick at home. It may have gotten worse.
Yeah, that does sound worse.
Speaking of which, Adam, when I was in the tavern, did Toblin or anybody else trigger the detect poison before I left?
What about those of us around him?
None of
or
your
anybody.
direct companions, no, but you do notice that like a random, villager sitting in the inn itself, kind of in a corner section here, just trying to eat a bit of porridge, does trigger as having this disease, but visually it doesn't look like he's sick at all.
But not Toblin, though, right?
No.
Okay, cool. So I'll look at everybody and say, we should go help if we can. I'd like to.
Yeah, man. I thought that was the plan in the first place.
Yes, agreed. Let's go.
All right, so it
So-
sounds like you want to make your way to Barthen's home then?
Yeah, everybody is down. I believe that's what we'll do.
All right, you head over to Barthen's house. It looks to be a fairly modest-looking home. As you head up to the front and presumably knock on the door, you hear a woman's voice from the other side say, "Just a moment." And then you hear like movement and the door opens just a slight bit. "Yes, what is it?" And you can see an older woman who you presume to likely be Barthen's wife standing here in the doorway as she looks at you with wide open eyes.
Hi. I'm Gorlami, and these are my companions. I'm a cleric. I heard that your husband was sick. I've come to assist. He's helped us out a lot in our travels.
Gorlami? What kind of name is that? Where are you from?
Sundabar.
And I assume at this point you're still in your human visage, right?
No, I mean, unless it's all been within 10 minutes, it would have already shifted
Yeah,
back.
my presumption is that you're doing this fairly quickly, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, then I would still be.
Okay,
in
so
human
you see she looks a little bit confused, but she kind of narrows her eyes at the mention of cleric, and she says, who do you follow, or which god do you worship?
Moradin, the Forge Father.
And you see she looks at you and kind of blinks a little bit and says, "Well, I suppose that's better than nothing. Yes, come in."
It's not really my forte, but I noticed he was sick, and I think I know the disease that is afflicting him. So I wanted to try my best.
All right, she escorts you into the home, and it's again fairly, humble accommodations here. She takes you to like a back room. You can see this looks to be what would pass for a master bedroom in this home. She enters, opens the door and escorts you inside. There's not a whole lot of room here, so she motions for those of you that don't need, directly to see him to just stay outside or at least in the living room. And once you get into the room here, you can see him laying down. His cheeks are very much like sunken in, and you notice a strange curiosity here where his skin actually seems to have a slightly tinged of a green like color.
Yeah, I imagine. If my alter self is still up, then my detect poison and disease would still be up, and I imagine it's like triggering like crazy right now, right?
I mean, yes. I don't think it tells you like severity or anything like that. So you would just detect that yes, he is indeed diseased.
I feel like most of us could detect that he is indeed diseased.
Uh, well put, Josephine. I'm going to like sit down for a moment, Adam, and I'm going to start casting Lesser Restoration.
All right, you cast Lesser Restoration. Go ahead and give me a spell effect roll, please.
Oh, just a spell effect roll. Gotcha. Let me token. Drag it out here.
Yep, so tokens on this one are top left corner, by the way.
Oh, sorry, missed that. I went top right and then bottom left. I missed top.
I know, I kind of have them all over the place in this one.
I'm used to the Wednesday game. I like how you have it set on the corner.
I know, I
there.
might have to adopt that for this one too.
Alright, here we go. Spell effect roll.
Okay, you attempt to remove this disease that is currently afflicting Barthen, but it seems to have no effect.
Oh god.
Is he poisoned?
I'm gonna kind of try to keep my voice down and like lean into Finn and say, I think it's worse than what I can help him with. Maybe not now.
Maybe you need a greater spell.
Find out what he's been doing to cause him to turn green.
Well, you guys go ask her. I'm gonna spend some more time with him and see if I could figure it out.
And again, this is a small bedroom, and I'm imagining that she is not left his side. So she's standing like right here by you, Gorlami, as you're looking over him as he's just lying in the bed. The rest of the folks, I imagine, sort of somewhere in the doorway, like sort of peeking in, that sort of thing.
I'm just gonna look at his wife and say, so, when did this happen?
Oh, this here? Well, he was sick, like, he first started getting sick, like, 3 days ago, I think? 2-3 days ago, somewhere like that. But, he's only been this bad since last night.
Where do you get your water? From the well?
Yes.
Was Varthan and your son in the rain the other night? The green rain? Do you remember?
I'm sure Elmer, yes, he got some of it, but I assume you mean the helpers at the shop. Ander and Thistle, they're actually not our children. They're just, help for Elmer here. But, yes, I think all of us got a little bit of that green rain. You think that's what this is from?
I'm not sure. I noticed some bushes and shrubs around were still coated with the sickly rain, and I mean, he works outside and with his arms all day with grains and produce and things like that. So if he was to be exposed, then...
Wait, you said that the bushes outside were still covered?
Not all of them. There's bits and pieces here. When I entered yesterday, I was able to see a few of the areas. There's a few other people in town. Have you noticed that are sick as well?
Are the bushes? Do they have fruit on them? Are you guys eating from those bushes by chance?
And you notice she turns and looks to you, and sort of horror occurred to you as she was already thinking this, and it seems as though you have drawn this thought right from the forefront of her mind, where she nods slowly. The Eldermath Orchard, that's where they make the cider from the fruit that grows there. It's Elmer's favorite.
Maybe you can check the cider then.
I think for me to help your husband, I'm going to have to go to this area and check where they produce this cider.
Oh, yes, it's just on the west side of town, just past the town green.
He'll need fresh water and bring him bread. Fresh bread.
He's not eating. He's barely conscious, and when he is, he says he's not hungry.
Yeah, Mia.
And yeah, what's up? Yeah.
You'll have any more of those little berries?
I have one. I have the one that I was saving because it would be so delicious.
Let me have it, Kurtul.
Of course. Here's the berry.
I'm gonna look at the woman and say, "This berry is worth a full day's of nourishment. It's magic in a way. Get him to consume just this one berry for now, and cold water. We check the well. It appears the well is not poisoned, so you can draw the water from there. We're gonna go check this orchard and then return."
Okay, yes, I'll do what I can. Maybe if I squeeze this berry juice into the water, I can get him to drink it.
Sounds marvelous. And this boy, what'd you say his name was? Thistle? Where does he live?
Thistle? Oh, he lives on the southeast side of town by the Alderleaf farm.
Okay, thank you. And
So I said thank you. Go ahead.
I was just gonna get up at that moment.
Yeah, you should probably go. Hey, Adam, can I get out my alchemist supplies and quickly dissolve that berry in some water a little more efficiently for her?
Sure, yeah, I would say that's certainly within your skill set, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I got my mortar and pestle, and I'm grinding it down. I put some water. Okay, this is it.
I hope you mean mortar and pestle, because otherwise this is going to be bad.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a pistol.
Forestry kit.
Take the berry.
Yeah. Bam, 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 bam.
All right, but yes, you certainly can do that, Finn. That easily within your skill set. You dissolve the berry in the water.
Okay, we'll be right back.
She thanks you deeply as you guys exit from the home.
When I look at Gore, I'm like, do you feel like you're changing back?
And I would presume it's probably within 30 seconds of that time.
Yeah, I'm like, we gotta get out of here.
So, I wasn't able to remove that disease. I think it's a little bit trickier than what I'm used to. I might have to pull a hero moment out of my ass next time.
Well, maybe we should go check the cider too, just to see. Well, we also checked the fruit. I mean, we gotta make sure that the cider that's downstairs, it wasn't being drank that much. We need to make sure it's not bad.
Go back to the inn. We gotta go back to the inn. I could purify the cider.
I mean, that doesn't help us, but sure, it helps other people. We all drank from the cider, so...
We need to go to the orchard first. I mean, if we can find out who all has a cask, not just Tomlin, then we can help everyone.
But the cider is already made.
Yeah,
that's true. Unless the cider was made recently, like after the rain fell. That shouldn't have anything to do with it, right?
We have to tell Tomlin not to serve the cider anymore.
Yeah, we could tell him we're going to go test it. He'll know. He knows we're good for it.
Yeah, but guys, I mean, if you go and tell someone the well is poisoned, so to speak, it causes paranoia.
Okay, so let's let them drink the cider, they get more sick, and then that way we can prove the point. That's a good one.
Tomlin's reasonable. He can listen. I'll just say, just give us a few minutes. We'll come back. We gotta test it. I just want to let you know that some people might be getting sick from cider. Not your cider, but possibly. We don't know. Just don't serve it for an hour or two.
We'll issue a recall.
Well, I did, look over our food and drink that we had up in the room, and nothing did trigger. Remember, we brought that food and stuff back up to the room, and then I looked over the food and all of us.
True.
Did we still have the cider we drank at that point, or?
Yeah.
I guess it would be from the same cask.
Yeah. I still had the cider with me, and just because Adam made us do a wisdom save doesn't mean it was from the cider or anything. You know what I mean? Could have been completely separate. So
could have been like an airborne thing or whatever.
Yeah, we have no idea. We can't assume anything.
Well, even in character, you're gonna stop Finn, who's a tavern owner, who's a Tiglo tavern. You're gonna take a lot to stop him to tell the tavern owner that there possibly can be tainted cider in his bar, in his tavern.
What I'm trying to tell you though is that we had already detected the cider in there, and we didn't see anything from the food or the
Yeah,
drink.
I know that, but that means that's what we were served. It means not.
If you worked in an inn before, then you probably know the shelf life of cider. So if it's something like 2 days or 3 days, then we can assume that the people who were poisoned probably drank the last cask and then they've made a new one, right? To replenish, you know what I mean?
There's maybe different casks of cider that he hasn't tapped yet. You know, I mean.
So I would say, based on your experience, Finn, you would know in general your typical cider is consumed within 7 to 10 days. The stuff that is not like put in what I'm going to say cold storage, because there's obviously not refrigerators or anything like that. But if something is kept well and intentionally set up to be held for long terms, it can last for up to like 2 years.
I doubt that they just made a batch. If he had to pull it out of storage down there, I think that cider's probably safe. Let's go to the orchard. If someone wants to run back and warn him about it, be my guest, but...
I will. I'll take the dash action a whole bunch.
I get it. I just think that...
I don't think it hurts to tell him.
I think it might. I mean...
No,
If you tell one person, hey, this
I think we're
potentially
spending
poison.
a lot of time deciding on if we're going to tell the tavern keeper.
But listen, but let me finish, right? And then somebody goes,
Let him
hey,
die then!
I'd love to drink some cider. And then he goes, no, we don't serve cider. And they go, yes, you do. We've had cider for years. And then they want to question, why is there no cider? Why is there no cider? Why? You know what I mean? It could cause an unnecessary uproar before we have definite knowledge.
I hate the people in this town. Let's just go to the orchard.
It sounds like we all want to go to the orchard. Does anyone disagree?
I'm still going to run to the tavern.
I'm going with Curtsy to the tavern. I want to talk to Toblin.
All right, so
Have
as
fun.
Kurtu
The rest of
and
us will.
Finn make their way to the Stonehill Inn, the rest of the team heads over to the orchard. So we'll focus on the orchard folks first. So as you guys make your way from Barthen's house over through the green and over to the orchard itself, you can see that there is this gentleman outside that seemingly has this sort of bushel down below, and he's pulling these like apples off of the green, the bushes here, as he throws them in the bushels. And you see he looks up towards you as you're approaching. What do you want?
Health inspectors.
Don't listen to Joseph. I'm a cleric, sir. I'm helping some people who've been sick in town, and I don't mean to alarm you, but did that rain over on your orchard? What was it, like a week ago?
Rain hits everything. How can I stop rain hitting my bushes?
That's fair. Is anybody sick that works for you?
No.
Can I insight him?
Sure, give me a blind insight. I'm going to say this is at disadvantage as you've just met this guy.
Under scrutiny.
You get the impression he's quite angry.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can we tour your orchard?
No, I'm busy. Go.
Can I
How
pay
big
you?
is the orchard? Can we
I mean, it's a
if he's
fairly
over
large
here, can we
size.
sneak around the corner?
Let me get a rough idea. 150 feet by 110 feet, roughly.
Oh, we need 10 minutes for him to ritual cast unless he wants to burn a spell slot.
I don't mind burning a spell slot, but I'd still have to be out of view. I mean, I can't just pop it and then go bursting through the...
Offer him a silver piece for the fruit.
You hear yelled from the Stonehill Inn.
Sorry.
I was going to offer him money to do a tour. I was like, can I pay you to pick a couple fresh apples?
Come back later. Busy right now.
Can I assist you doing what you're doing to help you out faster? It's kind of utmost importance. We're strong, we're fast.
You are obviously looking like an orc now, and you see as he looks towards you, he says, "No! As I said, come back later!"
How much later? How long this is gonna take you?
Come back in the afternoon!
Thoughts?
He's out back, Adam.
So where the basically where the house is right here, and where you guys' token is, he's standing maybe 15 feet from the house, and he's got a bushel, and he's kind of like picking the fruit off of the bushes themselves and putting them in. It seems like he's doing like a collection or a harvest of the fruit.
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
You're being very rude to people you don't know.
I'm actually very interested in this line of work. I'm a bit of a traveling apothecary myself. I fancy myself a little bit. Can I just watch you work for a while? It's super exciting to me.
No, not right now. Like I said, come back in the afternoon. This is the busiest time of the day. If I get set back here talking to people, then everything gets set behind.
I don't need to talk. I can just watch.
Give me a blind persuasion check, Josephine. And you see he like narrows one eye and he says, "Fine, you can stay, but your friend's gotta go."
Hell yeah. So I'll stay with him, and then I'll if they're standing up, if he's like shouting at us from the orchard and we're like I don't know, like 20 feet off, I'll say, yeah, I'll keep him busy. You can go around the side and check some of the other bushes.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
It's very corrupt.
shout if you need help.
All right.
All right, so as a good chunk of the party exits here and Josephine remains behind, he doesn't actually seem to speak with you directly, Josephine. You just hear him grumbling constantly about people interrupting him, and this is slowing down everything, and man, this is going to take forever, and now the afternoon tasks are going to be like everything seems to be this just string of angry complaints.
Said about his problems, but I'm watching him to make sure he's like sticking around in this area.
Yep, yeah, that's what he's doing. And I assume the rest of the group, you're basically trying to get to somewhere that's further away and then try to analyze the fruit?
Yeah, I'm thinking like we go like this, and then like while we're over here, we cast. I can cast my spell like under this little area, and then maybe we go kind of like around here or something.
Okay, what I will say here is, Josephine, go ahead and throw me a blind check, please. And Gorlami, just throw me a d20, I guess.
Okay, do you want me to burn my spell slot? Because I'm not going to ritually cast it, I'm just going to cast it.
Yes. Okay, so, yeah, it goes off without an issue. You're just listening to this conversation, Josephine. No issues. So as we're at the end of our session time here, guys, to try to wrap this little piece up, Gorlami, as you then start examining the fruit with the benefits of your spell here, yes, you can tell that many of the pieces of fruit here do indeed seem to contain a disease. Visibly, they don't seem like they have any kind of ill effect to them, but you're quite confident this is the same green disease that's been affecting others, and you've sort of been tying these points together that it certainly seems as though the source is this devilish rain that had fallen some time ago. So with that information in hand, looking forward to next week's session, what is it you guys' plan to do when we pick up next week?
Get Kurtu to set this orchard on fire. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say he'll love that too much. I think we're gonna find a plan to cure that orchard.
So I have prepared purified food and drink. It says non-magical food drink within 5-foot radius sphere centered on the point you choose can be purified and redeemed free of poison and disease. I'd have to probably obviously cast a bunch of these spells, but it would also...
We'd have to spend all day here, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but But that's something I did prepare over the last long rest, that spell.
I think for your sake, Adam, with what you're trying to find out, I think the party is pretty content on trying to make sure that we can help out as much as we can with the town and ailing, or doing what we can to help those ailed by and hopefully rid this town of the disease and then move on from that.
Maybe we can buy some of it too, and then just destroy it.
Okay, so it sounds like try to do what you can to aid Fandolin here when they're dealing with this devilish disease that is in the area right now. Assuming you're able to either come to a conclusion that you can't help any further or somehow able to completely help everything and that's cleared, what would be the next course of action? Is it still your intent to head out to the shrine? Is that your next place? Or did you want to head up to the mountains and look for the dragon? What is you guys' thought then?
I don't think we can go up into the mountains at the moment. I think we need to we're probably going to need climbing gear and stuff. I don't know if we can afford them all for everybody. We maybe do this orc quest, get some reward from that if we can, and then come back and revisit that. I think the dragon's going to be licking its wounds for enough time that we can probably do that.
All right, so it sounds like the majority vote here is for orcs, aka these are head to the shrine, because this is where you've heard that these orcs supposedly are, having kicked the were-rats out of that location. So my presumption is you guys will try to help the town with this devilish disease, and then your next course of action will be to head out to the shrine. So, okay, good deal, everybody. Hope everybody enjoys tonight's session. We'll see you all next week, and yeah, we'll see what occurs from then. Good night, everyone.
Always,
session,
always.
everybody.
Enjoy, everybody.
Session, y'all.
Good night, guys.